What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty. Join my Discord if you want to chat and share your thoughts, the link is in the description. 4BT Chapter 86 What a monster. Just when Akatsuki organized the crowd to besiege, the beast road on the side started summoning non-stop. Split dog, hell crab, yada, chameleon, pitbull, rhino, panda, centipede. Several summoning beasts covered in black sticks appeared. Collectively attacked Namikaze Kirito. Shiradao threw away the jacket directly, and six arms grabbed Namikaze Kirito directly, preventing him from escaping. Hungry Kido stretched out his big hand and put it on Namikaze Kirito. With the appearance of light, the chakra in Namikaze Kirito's body was absorbed crazily. Six paths pain, just a child's play toy. Facing such a siege, Namikaze Kirito remained calm, and then violently exerted force with both hands, directly tearing Shiradao apart. Turning around as a punch to the hungry Kido, boom. The power of the white shock made Shiradao's head directly embedded in the ground. 553. Dark Cave Road. A dense black fog appeared, and all the surrounding summoning beasts were sucked into it, and members of the Akatsuki organization quickly jumped out. After several summoning beasts disappeared completely, Namikaze Kirito stared at the enemy in front of him with cold eyes. Give it back to you. Liberation. Boom. The black smoke burst out the wreckage of those summoning beasts all at once. The airwaves caused by the powerful repulsion caused the black robes on the people in the distance to dance non-stop. Ha ha ha, what a monster, Namikaze Kirito. Kisame had no fear in his heart, even though he had already seen that Namikaze Kirito's strength far surpassed him. He resolutely took the big sword Samahada and slashed it. But the shark muscles were not as obedient as usual, and the body was constantly twisting. As a spiritual sword, Sharkus is said to be the little follower of Three Tails Isaufu. It can absorb chakra and return it to the owner. Kisame also won the title of Tailless Beast by virtue of the ability of Sharkus. No matter how strong the enemy is, Samahada will not be as afraid as he is now. The reason why he became like this is that he felt the aura of his boss, Isaufu, from Namikaze Kirito, and it was that annoying aura. In other words, the enemy in front of him definitely defeated his boss. The boss has lost, how can the younger brother still have the courage to fight head-on? Kisame was also stunned by the appearance of his weapon. Samahada, how do you decide? Advertisement. He could clearly feel the fear that the knife gave him, which also made Ben's eyes more serious. Seeing that he can't use shark muscles, he can only use his own ninjutsu. Water style. Big water burst. Kisame suddenly spouted a large amount of water from his mouth, completely enveloping Namikaze Kirito. The positive film was covered by the water waves. It's a big move. As soon as it comes up, Kisame plunged one hand into the water. 5 food sharks. Sharks formed by 5 chakras are swimming quickly in the water waves. Kakuzu on the side also came over, and a black thread ball grew behind him, and several masks were covered on the black thread ball. Earth Resentment U, the secret art of Taki Ninja Village. You can let yourself have 5 hearts, each with an attribute, and 5 lives. As long as there is 1 heart, you will not die, even when the heart is old or stops beating. You can also dig new hearts to replace them. Looking at the giant water wave made by Kisame from an angle, 3 masks appeared from the black thread ball behind him. Earth Resentment, Final Shooting. The mask of the 3 attributes of wind, fire and thunder was concentrated on his right arm, and he sent out a terrifying chakra, directly targeting Namikaze Kirito among them. The thunder attribute also makes the entire water wave full of thunder and lightning light. Who said it's impossible for Shao to form a group? Seeing the two teaming up to deal with him, Namikaze Kirito didn't panic, but stretched out his arms. The black Uzumaki reappeared, the huge water wave was sucked in quickly, and even the chakra cannon that hit was also absorbed by the dark fruit. Seeing this scene, Pain's eyes widened. Absorbing ninjutsu. Even the sharks that chakra made up were absorbed. This is obviously Rinnegan's pupil technique, which is the ability of hungry Kido Pain. How can that be? A group of Akatsuki members were also shocked to see this scene. In the previous battle, they saw that Namikaze Kirito could counteract ninjutsu attacks. This is understandable, but absorbing chakra directly, isn't this the ability of your own leader? Why, is there a scene in front of you that you can't understand? With a smile, Namikaze Kirito appeared directly on Tendo Pain's side. Shaved from one of Marine 6 styles, advertisement. At the speed of ultimate, it's like teleporting. Only Pain, who owns Rinnegan, felt Namikaze Kirito's moving track, and the rest of them didn't even see anything. In the blink of an eye, Namikaze Kirito disappeared in front of their eyes. That is to say, if they are assassinated, they will definitely be solved silently by Namikaze Kirito without resorting to any means. Tendo Pain looked at Namikaze Kirito in front of him. Even the expressionless face can make people feel his anger. Don't be arrogant, Namikaze Kirito. Although you have a little bit of my ability, it doesn't mean that you can stand on the height of God. God? Namikaze Kirito smiled disdainfully. The so-called God is just a dream that Nagato fabricated for himself. Yes, Rinnegan is indeed the top of the ninja world, but who should use it? In the later stage, Uchiha Madara and Sasuke are all invincible, that's because Rinnegan is theirs. And without knowing it, Uzumaki Nagato, who was transplanted to Rinnegan, didn't show his due ability at all. This is because he is a member of the Uzumaki family. If someone else, without the sage body of the Uzumaki family, is transplanted with Rinnegan, then there is only a dead end. Nagato is not skinny now, it looks like he has half a life left. It seems to feel the disdain of Namikaze Kirito. Tiandao Pain was speaking. Namikaze Kirito, I'll make you feel the real pain of 5.4. After finishing speaking, one hand spread out and pushed forward. Shenluo Tianzheng. The repulsion struck. Namikaze Kirito put his hands in front of him. With a bang, he was sent flying into midair. Immediately afterwards, Pain cast the pupil technique again. Planetary devastation. Kaka. The roar sounded, and countless land and soil clods were lifted up rapidly, and then stuck to Namikaze Kirito's body. There are more and more clods, and Namikaze Kirito has been completely buried in it. Until a sphere is formed. The legendary moon is that sage of 6 paths used a huge planetary devastation to seal Kagaya-ji in it, and the planetary devastation itself turned into the moon. And the planetary devastation used by Nagato, although it does not have the level of sage of 6 paths. But it is also full of strength. Chapter 87. Many people bully few people. Guys who speak wild words basically don't have much ability. God's punishment is brought down on you, life alone in the seal, Namikaze Kirito. Looking at the sphere in midair, Tiandao Pain said expressionlessly. The members of the Shao organization also stared at the sphere. Hey, is this the true strength of the leader? Is that also what Rinnegan uses? Tisk, it's really a convenient ability. It's a pity that Namikaze Kirito can't feel the truth of art. Really, why is the leader so anxious? As expected of the leader senior, too strong. While everyone was still lamenting the strength of their leader, a voice suddenly came from above the sphere. Hey, what are you so happy about? Take a closer look, isn't that person Namikaze Kirito? And who was it that was just sealed inside the planetary devastation? Wrong. Kisame noticed something was wrong. Just now my shark caused his clothes to be torn in several places, but now he has no damage at all, and his clothes are not wet. Everyone is a smart person. Once this remark came out, they still didn't understand what happened. Konoha's shadow clone technique? But the leader's Rinnegan should be able to see through it. How is this possible? Namikaze Kirito looked at the puzzled faces of the people below, and reached out to pat the soil ball under him. In a blink of an eye, a log grew out, and then the log gradually grew, and finally became Namikaze Kirito. Wood clone. That is a more advanced clone technique than other clone techniques, even Rinnegan can't tell the difference. That is, Uchiha Obito watched Namikaze Kirito's movements, and immediately understood why Namikaze Kirito was outside. Wood clone, it seems that you really have mastered wood style. Tiandao Pain said lightly. Intelligence belongs to intelligence, and seeing with your own eyes is two different things. After all, in the fight just now, Namikaze Kirito did not show the ability of wood style. This scene also made everyone in the Shao organization look at each other in dismay. After playing for a long time, it was only a clone who was fighting with me and others, and in the end it was the leader's Rinnegan ability that solved the opponent. Advertisement, let's go. Kill him directly this time. Tiandao Pain gave an order, and everyone in the Shao organization was more brutal than the other. Thinking that he and others were tricked by the other party just now, how could he not be angry? At this time, after hearing the leader's order, everyone was ready to fight. The chakra accumulated in the body can launch a thunderous strike at any time. Do you bully the few with the more? Let's play with you. Namikaze Kirito clapped his hands together. Wood clone technique. 20 Namikaze Kirito appeared around them, and then rushed towards every member of the Akatsuki organization. This time the avatars did not distribute the chakra evenly, but only a small part of the chakra was in it. Random avatars will not have the same intensity as before. Shen is sharing 10 shares this time. In other words, every member of Akatsuki will face the attack of 2 Namikaze Kirito. Even besides 6 paths Pain, there are also 2 Namikaze Kirito standing. Then let the game begin. Following Namikaze Kirito's words with a smile in his tone, all Namikaze Kirito present attacked simultaneously. And the members of the Akatsuki organization did not panic. None of them lacked combat experience, and the scene of ninjutsu flying together and roaring continuously began in the arena. Water style, big shark bomb technique, earth resentment, nature mask. Crimson Luhu, prosthetic hand Shinbin, explode clay, Boing. All the members of the Akatsuki organization started fighting with the wood clone in front of them, and the wood clone didn't have any terrifying ninjutsu, but just used physical skills and shock fruit's ability to fight like 10 fists and 10 feet. The reason for this is just to unlock the template. Otherwise, Namikaze Kirito would not be so free playing games with them. As the ability is used, the template will be unlocked faster. And Tiandao Pain looked at the 2 wood clone of Namikaze Kirito in front of him. He didn't let out a sigh of relief, but was full of anger in his heart. Namikaze Kirito, I will let you know what happens when you insult God. Pain 6 paths assemble again. Then the 6 rushed towards Namikaze Kirito's wood clone quickly, because they were 6 people, and even the 2 wood clone beside Conan were included by Pain. Instead, Conan was left alone. Advertisement looking at Namikaze Kirito on the sphere, Conan's beautiful eyes showed a trace of firmness, and then he performed ninjutsu, a burst of white smoke dispersed, and the person disappeared in place. Appreciating the battle below, Namikaze Kirito had a playful expression on his face. Go to hell, Namikaze Kirito. At some point, Xiaonan appeared behind Namikaze Kirito, holding a huge paper spear in his hand, and threw it at the back of Namikaze Kirito's head. Just listen to the sound of clang. Looking up, the back of Namikaze Kirito's head was covered in jet black, and the spear could not penetrate at all, instead breaking the spear tip. How come? Conan's face was full of horror. Isn't that okay too? It can't be defeated head-on, and a sneak attack is useless at all. Thank you for your massage, but speaking of it, it's also true that I don't want to touch you. Namikaze Kirito patted the dirt on his pants, stood up, and gradually walked in front of Conan, who was already sluggish. He also sympathizes with the character of Conan. He lost his parents because of the war since he was a child, and started wandering with Yahiko Nagato. After meeting Jiraiya, he had a stutter. In the end, she had a bright heart. Because of Yahiko's death, following Nagato was bewitched by Uchiha Obito, creating such an Akatsuki organization. After Nagato's death, Uchiha Obito did not let her go when she could have been freed. The 600 billion explosive talismans failed to destroy that person, but instead made her, a paper flower, wither on the icy land alone. Conan was a little puzzled at this moment. She didn't understand why there was a trace of pity in the eyes of Namikaze Kirito, who approached. I wanted you to stay quietly for a while, but it's probably impossible. Let you stimulate Nagato. After all, a huge force suddenly appeared in Conan's abdomen. I saw Namikaze Kirito lift her up into the air with a whip leg, and then, his whole body appeared in the air, punching her directly. Without the slightest sympathy, a straight punch landed on Conan's chest. Boom! With a muffled sound, Conan's beautiful figure drew an arc in midair and then smashed to the ground like a wolf. Right at the foot of Pain's fight with the wood clone. Little Conan. Pain looked at Conan, who was covered in blood and had fallen into a coma, his pupils constricted. Namikaze Kirito, I want you dead. Chapter 88 Ghetto Statue. Tiandao Pain has completely fallen into madness. You know, he is a person who attaches great importance to friendship, and the reason why he became what he is today is also because of Yahiko's death. And the last companion also fell in front of him. Where can I control myself? I saw that the rest of the 6 paths Pain all fell to the ground, only Heavenly Path Pain was left with seals on both hands. Everyone, take Conan and get out of here. Chakra frantically merged with the black stick on the face of Tiandao Pain, and his momentum became stronger and stronger, and the surrounding ground began to tremble slightly. Hearing the leaders shout, everyone in Akatsuki's organization was no longer in love with fighting. One of them turned his head and ran away with everyone holding Conan in one hand. Then Tiandao Pain spread his hands. Super, Shinra Sky Sign. Boom. The repulsive force directly blasts everything, houses, civil engineering, sand and gravel. The moment they touch the repulsive force, they become shattered. This is the super god Luo Tianzheng created by Tiandao Pain with the whole body of chakra. In the original book, it was also this trick that directly turned a huge Konoha village into ruins. One can imagine how powerful it is. All of Namikaze Kirito's wood clone were overturned and turned into gnarled logs. The chakra in those wood clone bodies has obviously disappeared. The body of Namikaze Kirito in midair was also affected, and the huge repulsive force field scattered in all directions at 360 degrees without any dead angle. The sphere formed by the planetary devastation has completely crumbled. Namikaze Kirito wanted to test how strong the repulsion force was, so he stabilized his figure in midair and punched him with his hand. The ability to vibrate fruit is fully activated. Boom. Click. As if hitting the glass, there was a roar first, followed by an ear-piercing friction sound. The shocking force and the repulsive force collided crazily, completely shattering the surrounding atmosphere. Tiandao Pain also watched this scene in disbelief. What kind of power is this? Namikaze Kirito, what secrets do you have? He has Rinnegan, although he wasn't born with it, but he didn't know it. Since Yahiko's death, Nagato, who has Rinnegan, has always felt that he is the chosen one. So I call myself a god, and feel that I should clear up this troubled world. The fact is, as he wished, the establishment of the Shao organization, except for some small episodes in the middle, there is no disturbance. The execution of the plan has always been smooth. Advertisement, but now I met Namikaze Kirito, and I was crushed by the opponent in all aspects. In terms of strength, he was even weaker by more than a notch, and his most cherished companion had just fallen in front of him. How can that be? Impossible. Namikaze Kirito, you who have never experienced real pain, how can you have such a strong strength? I am the real god. Speaking of this, Tiandao Pain's face has been completely deformed, and in a cave far away from here, the scrawny Nagato is also crying out for life and death. The black stick stuck on his body was shaking non-stop. With the increase of chakra's output, his hair also appeared a little white. In order to fight against Namikaze Kirito, even at the expense of life force, he has to fight. Back to the scene where the two were fighting. The dark clouds of the entire Rain Shinobi village have been blown away by the wind waves, and the rare sunshine appeared in the whole village, but at this time there is no one in Rain Shinobi village. The civilians have all been transferred out. Only the core members of the Akatsuki organization were left here. Before this war, due to intelligence reasons, Conan and Nagato were afraid that the battle would affect civilians. Even if it has become like this, the two of them still yearn for real peace in their hearts. He is unwilling to let his own war affect the civilians in the entire village. That's why no one came to watch the battle so fiercely. God. I haven't seen God, but I promise, God is not like you, who is manipulated by a pathetic doll, even worse than a doll. Having said that, Namikaze Kirito's eyes froze. Under shock fruit's full force, the white light has become a bit dazzling. Boom. Finally, this confrontation came to an end. Rain Shinobi Village turned into ruins, while the remaining 5-6 paths Pain had been reduced to fly ash, and Tiandao Pain's black robe had been completely torn. The face and body are even more dilapidated. The whole person also became wobbly, and a quarter of Nagato's hair in the far cave had turned white. He lost this duel. Even if he used his vitality to hold on, he still didn't win. At a height of 10,000 meters, a giant clay bird was full of members of the Akatsuki organization. They all watched the battle with palpitations. This is no longer something they can participate in. And Konan had already woken up, looking down with worry in her beautiful eyes. Namikaze. Kirito, advertisement Tendo Pain intermittently called Namikaze Kirito's name, and a pair of purple renegons stared at him. Compared to Pain, Namikaze Kirito is not in any embarrassment. After all, his strength at this time has reached, even surpassed that of Senju Hashirama's ninja god. I can give you the peace you want, how about following me? Namikaze Kirito said flatly. Follow you? There was a sneer in Tiandao Pain's mouth. I am a god. How can you follow a human being? Do you think you can beat me, Namikaze Kirito? Then a summoning spell was formed with both hands. Seeing this scene, Namikaze Kirito narrowed his eyes and continued to speak. In your current state, if you use that technique, you may die. You have to think about it. Namikaze Kirito, your information is really terrifying. Have you learned about that thing? So what if I die? If I can't fulfill my wish, I will die. Try it, Namikaze Kirito. Do you really have the experience to change the world? Summoning. Ghetto statue. Boom. A huge burst of white smoke appeared, and then the legendary body of 10 tails appeared in everyone's eyes. With dead wood-like skin and a body bigger than a tailed beast, Wang Jiaowei is surrounded by lines and lines. The ferocious face is full of fangs, and there are 10 closed eyes in the eyes. Once all the tail beasts are found, it will become a full-body 10 tails. Even now it's just a shell. That deterrent is also extremely terrifying. Nagato in the cave in the distance, his hair was completely white at this time, his wrinkled skin, Madara's white hair, and those lifeless eyes, obviously let his vitality come to an end. The first time I summoned the 10 tails husk, it nearly drained him. Now summon the 10 tails shell with chakra depleted, and intend to use it for combat. He is already using his remaining vitality to fight this battle. What a stubborn guy. There was a trace of pity in Namikaze Kirito's eyes. He really wants to help Nagato, but now the other party is ready to give up his life to fight. I can't live up to his will. Then let's fight. Chapter 89 True Several Thousand Hands, transforming into a Buddha on the top, shocking the world. Roar. The ghetto statue roared towards the sky, and the airwave it sent out almost knocked down the Akatsuki organization 10,000 meters above. Deidara hurriedly manipulated the bird formed by the explosive clay to raise a few more heights. Nagato. Konan's beautiful eyes were full of worry. When Nagato summoned this thing for the first time, it almost disappeared. Now that chakra is exhausted, summoning it out, I'm afraid I won't be able to stand it. Is this the 10 tails shell? Namikaze Kirito looked at the ghetto statue who roared angrily, with admiration in his eyes. It's just an empty shell, and there is such a powerful coercion. If it really becomes a complete body of 10 tails, then it will be the top combat power in this world. Along with the roar, Ghetto statue seemed to sense the smell of Namikaze Kirito, and turned his ferocious mouth towards the opponent's position. Tiandao Pain took his weak body and jumped onto Ghetto statue's head. Chakra Dragon, off. A purple beam suddenly erupted from Ghetto statue's mouth. This is the ability of the 10-tailed shell, which requires a lot of chakra since there are no tails in the body. As long as it is touched by the purple light beam, chakra will be directly absorbed, and the body and even the soul will be torn apart. 810 Namikaze Kirito, who has read the original book, of course understands the opponent's abilities. Pat hands. Wood style. The tree world comes, click click click. Numerous big trees burst out from the ground, making loud noises. With the amount of chakra of Namikaze Kirito, coupled with the blessing of first-generation cells, the arrival of the tree world directly made most of the Rain Shinobi village full of trees. The purple chakra dragon roared past, and the trees it touched gradually withered and aged. Such is the power of the 10-tailed shell, but the countless trees still blocked this move. Seeing this, Tiandao Pain made seals with his hands again, and Ghetto statue, who was originally crawling on the ground, suddenly stood up slowly. With a height of more than several hundred meters, thick arms, and a ferocious face, even the full-body 9 tails is slightly weak in front of it. Even as a shell, it's 10 tails. Advertisement the same is true in the original book. In front of the body of 10 tails, the tail beast can only be swallowed, and it has no power to fight back. Roar. With a roar that shook the sky, Ghetto statue stepped on the ground, and with it as the center, countless ditches appeared on the ground. And Nagato in the cave in the distance is a little weaker. Ghetto statue doesn't have a single-tailed beast now, that is to say, its actions are completely supported by Nagato's chakra and vitality. So he wanted a quick fix, and he didn't need Namikaze Kirito to do it if he delayed for a while. He won't be able to hold on and fall down. Namikaze Kirito also saw the opponent's plan. If he escaped at this time and then came back later, it would not be too easy to win. But who is he? How could he allow himself to escape? Besides, it's just a 10-tailed shell. Ghetto statue let you summoning out, Uzumaki Nagato. In order to show your respect, I will not keep my hand. I can't ask for more. Tiandao Pain roared, and then manipulated Ghetto statue to run towards Namikaze Kirito's position. Boom boom boom. With every step, the ground trembled and the mountains shook. The seal of Baihao. Sage mode. The mark on Namikaze Kirito's forehead began to slowly spread out, and then turned into a fairy face. Black eye circles, 2 black lines along the eyes to the jaw. Thanks to the cells of Senju Hashirama, after improving Baihao technique, it is matched with the Sage mode method of the 3 holy places. Namikaze Kirito created a Sage mode that completely overrides it. Sage art, Shinsu Chiman. The trees that just grew on the ground can gradually gather together, and after a while, a wooden Buddha statue appeared in front of everyone. The Buddha statue is 1,000 meters high, and apart from the hands and the seal on the chest, there are thousands of arms behind it. Even the tall Gedo statue, in front of it, is like a small, Sebeck, child. Namikaze Kirito stood on the head of the Buddha statue, looking down at the body of 10 tails in front of him. At this moment, the 10,000-meter altitude organization and others saw the scene below, but their eyes widened. Is this wood style? It really is a ninjutsu to suppress troubled times. Gedo statue, we have been standing on its fingertips before, but we didn't expect it to be alive. We can't intervene in a battle of this level, damn it. Advertisement, hey, this wood style, Kakuzu, did you really fight against first Hokage? Did you throw a shuriken from 800 miles away? Shut up, B******************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************* manner. Facing Tongtian's ordinary true several thousand hands, Tiandao Pain didn't mean to retreat and continued to direct Gedo Statue's actions. I saw Gedo Statue clench his fists, roaring, and rushed over. Namikaze Kirito's eyes turned cold, and he clasped his hands together. Focus on Wa Buddha, shock the world, hum. Each hand of the Buddha statue is clenched into a fist. Unlike Senju Hashirama, there are white halos on the thousands of fists. Shock fruit. Its wood style meets shock fruit. It is not an exaggeration to say that with the same trick, combined with the blessing of another power, even if Senju Hashirama is alive and the two confront each other, the final winner must be Namikaze Kirito. Thousands of fists galloped down towards the Gedo statue. Gedo statue also raised his fist to meet it, and strands of electric light appeared on its uneven back. Finally, those thousands of white-lit fists bombarded in the direction of Ten Tail's body. Boom 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 boom. The surrounding mountains collapsed and the rivers rolled. A deafening roar sounded, and everyone in the Akatsuki organization 10,000 meters above was blown away by that wave of air. Not to mention the Ten Tail's shell at the very center. It was so hard that it was hammered into the ground immediately, followed by countless fists. The trees formed by the falling of the surrounding tree world have been completely shattered and turned into sawdust. The huge Gedo statue has also been completely hammered into the ground. And Rain Shinobi Village is even worse. The village, which was left in ruins, turned into nothingness, and the overall ground dropped by at least half a meter. If someone comes to Rain Shinobi Village at this time, you can see that Rain Shinobi Village has become a huge pit at this time. Even the countries bordering Rain Shinobi Village experienced earthquakes. Afterwards, they sent people to investigate the source of the shock, and they found the doomsday scene of Rain Shinobi Village, and their hearts were completely filled with shock. Rock Shinobi Village even called back all the ninjas who had gone out in their own village and closed the village. Of course, that's all for later. Chapter 90 The Real, Project Tasuki no Mi. At this time, Namikaze Kirito jumped off the Buddha statue, and the huge Buddha statue also slowly collapsed, splashing a cloud of dust and smoke. There is a huge pit in front of him, and Gedo statue can be seen inside. The carapace on the back has completely collapsed, and the arms are also deformed and twisted. There was a gap in the middle of the huge head. It looked very intrusive, and after a while, it turned into a puff of white smoke and disappeared on the spot. And Tiandao Pain has become physically disabled, and his eyes are completely straight. After the people of Akatsuki were thrown into the air, they landed safely on the ground. After Conan gave the order to hide first, they all scattered and fled. And in a dark shadow, the masked man Uchiha Obito, Kisame, and Sarutobi Asuma all looked around in shock. Mr. Madara, the strength of Namikaze Kirito is probably not much different from that of you and Senju Hashirama. Dried persimmon Kisame said with a smile. Hearing Kisame's question, Uchiha Obito recovered from the shock and spoke in a low voice. No, you haven't seen my heyday at all, and now I am. Namikaze Kirito will not be my opponent, but my injury is not healed, and the duel with him will be saved for next time. Uchiha Madara, I win and cooperate with you, just to defeat Namikaze Kirito, if you can't make a shot in the end. 17. Then our cooperation will come to an end. Speaking of Namikaze Kirito, Sarutobi Asuma is full of hatred. Hatred for killing his father, hatred for taking his wife. These two greatest hatreds are superimposed. He deserves to die. The choice to cooperate with the man in front of him who calls himself Uchiha Madara is also because of the terrifying legend of Uchiha Madara, coupled with the per capita cage level strength of the Akatsuki organization. I thought this wave was stable. As a result, Pain, the boss of the Akatsuki organization, tried his best and failed to take down Namikaze Kirito. It wasn't that Pain was not strong enough. But Namikaze Kirito is too strong. Even the huge Gedo statue is not his objection. Asuma, do you have any other choice now? You have become Konoha's ninja. You don't think that going back and apologizing now, Namikaze Minato Namikaze Kirito and his son will be able to forgive you. What's more, you also copied the sealed book. Facing the threat of Sarutobi Asuma, Uchiha Obito showed no concern. If today's incident gets out, Konoha will definitely be pushed to the forefront again. Other ninja villages probably wouldn't provoke such a terrifying enemy. Sarutobi Asuma, as Konoha's rebellious ninja, no matter how much the temptation of the sealed book is, they will not accept it openly. Only Uchiha Obito can protect it. Advertisement. Hearing this, Sarutobi Asuma was silent directly. He knew what the other party said was the truth. Although the two are now in a cooperative relationship, in fact he has no choice at all. Seeing Sarutobi Asuma's face, Uchiha Obito knew that his goal had been achieved, and then slowed down his voice. Asuma, I will do my best to help you study that ninjutsu, and I will help you get everything you need. Whether you can handle Konoha and Namikaze Kirito is up to you. We are going to create a new world companion. The cave in the distance, where Nagato is. At this time, he has completely lowered his head, and his body has truly become an old man. Looks like he's dead. Beside him, stood a beautiful woman. It was Konan. She returned here immediately after the Shao organization was disbanded. Sorry, Konan. Uzumaki Nagato looked up at his companion, knowing he was going to die. The promise with Yahiko seems to be impossible to fulfill. After all, he smiled self-deprecatingly. Looking back on his life, it is really sad. He could not do anything. He still claimed to be a god. He failed to protect his companions, and he failed to create a peaceful world. This miserable situation is also self-inflicted. Nagato. There was a gleam of crystal in Konan's beautiful eyes. It's not love, it's true friendship, and it's the same with Yahiko Nagato. When Yahiko died, there was nothing she could do. Is Nagato going to die in front of her now? Don't cry, Konan. After I die, you have to go. Stay away from Uchiha Madara. That guy is too dangerous. Nagato wants to confess his last words quickly while he still has breath. When he is there, he can still shelter Konan, but if he is gone, who can stop the man who calls himself Uchiha Madara? Just when Konan was about to say something, asking for flowers, there was a sound of footsteps coming from the hole. The figure of Uchiha Obito gradually appeared in the line of sight of the two. Advertisement. Nagato, I really misunderstood you. You turned into this embarrassing look. Not paying attention to Konan's killing eyes, Uchiha Obito came to the two of them while talking. Madara, what are you doing here? Uzumaki Nagato's face turned cold, and there was murderous intent in his tone. Nagato, looking at you, your life force and chakra have been emptied, so do you have any confidence to fight against me? As for what I'm going to do, of course, it's to get back my eyes. What? Uzumaki Nagato's pupils constricted. He didn't know what the other person was talking about. Don't be so surprised. Do you really think you were chosen by God? No, you were just chosen by me. These eyes don't belong to you, but I gave them to you. Paper spear. Boom. The cave shook a few times, and several pieces of gravel fell. Konan's sneak attack went right through Uchiha Obito's body. Hit the mountain wall. Konan, all the trajectories of you for so many years can't jump out of this eye of mine. Don't do small tricks, I don't want to kill you so soon. Konan, stop. Seeing that Konan was still determined to fight, Uzumaki Nagato on the side quickly stopped her. He was afraid that Konan would be hurt, then he turned his gaze to the mysterious Uchiha Obito. Madara, what the hell do you mean? Rinnegan is mine. I lent it to you. You and Akatsuki are just my pawns, but since your pawn is no longer usable, of course I have to take back these eyes. Yahiko's death was also designed by me, including the family members of the three of you, all under my control. Every step you have taken over the years has been guided by me. Don't you understand now? Of course, the plan is also false. Then, Uchiha Obito spoke out the real project Tsuki no Mi. For some reason, he especially enjoyed the expression on Uzumaki Nagato and Konan's face at this moment since he suffered so much with Namikaze Kirito. Chapter 91. Wait for the day when I bring Lin to you. As Uchiha Obito continued to speak, the faces of Uzumaki Nagato and Konan grew paler. They were counted. It has always been calculated. They thought that as long as they collected the tail beasts, they could summon 10 tails, and then use absolute force to suppress everything and end the long war. But in the end, the two of them were just being used. Project Tsuki no Mi. Let everyone in the entire ninja world fall into a deep sleep and dream of their own dreams. What kind of B*********** D plan is that? Madara. Uzumaki Nagato let out a roar, his eyes seemed to burst into flames. Your plan will not work, Uchiha Obito smiled mockingly. Of course my plan will succeed, but it will take some time. Do you really think you understand pain? Using force to end wars. Human wars will not stop on August 17th. Only when Project Tsuki no Mi succeeds will we usher in real peace. This world is hell. Let me make you a real paradise. At that time, I will kindly let you live in the world of Mooneye, so you don't have to thank me. Unlike Uzumaki Nagato's anger, Konan's eyes were full of disbelief. The family members were designed to die by the other party, and so was Yahiko, and now Nagato will follow in his footsteps. Then what is the meaning of their existence in this world? They have been manipulated all their lives. Konan. A few shouts from Uzumaki Nagato woke Konan up. Run away. Afterwards, Nagato's trembling hands were about to start making seals. He knew that at this time he would definitely not be the opponent of the person in front of him, but at least he could stop the opponent and let Konan run out. Puff. Tree roots and vines emerged from Obito's right arm, directly restraining the two of them. Let any of you go out. I'm afraid Project Tsuki no Mi will be leaked. Do you think I will make such a mistake? I said this just to see your expressions now, ha ha ha, Nagato, Conan. This time you understand what real pain is, real hell. At this moment, there was a burst of applause at the door. The three turned their heads in a hurry. Advertisement. Namikaze Kirito walked in with a smile on his face. Since when did you speak so well, Namikaze Kirito? The three called out each other's name in unison. There was disbelief in Uchiha Obito's exposed eye. How did you find it here? Interesting, why do you think I can't find it here? Namikaze Kirito said lightly. I've been here a long time ago, but when I saw that your performance was at a critical moment, I didn't have the nerve to disturb you. Why? Obito, have you become very eloquent lately? What? Got hit? Obito? Who are you? Uzumaki Nagato heard Namikaze Kirito address Uchiha Obito. He knew that the man in the mask might not be Uchiha Madara, but he just didn't know the real identity of the other party. He didn't expect Namikaze Kirito to tell the other party's name. Namikaze Kirito, I told you, I am Uchiha Madara. Uchiha Obito spoke in a low voice, words full of killing intent. What about Lin? Since you were Uchiha Madara, how about I revive Lin with my own hands, so that she can see how powerful Uchiha's ancestors are? Listening to the malice in Namikaze Kirito's mouth, he also named that person. Uchiha Obito broke the defense directly. Shut up, Namikaze Kirito, I won't let you do that to Rin. Which kind? Namikaze Kirito spread his hands and put on an innocent expression. What are you talking about? Is it the same as I thought? Of course, don't worry, I have developed a new method to change other people's memories. I will make Nohara Lin a perfect woman. Of course, I will let her keep your memory. This is exciting, isn't it? Namikaze Kirito. Uchiha Obito let go of Uzumaki Nagato and Conan, roaring and charged at Namikaze Kirito. A punch hit Uchiha Obito in the stomach. This punch used Shock Fruit's ability, but not much. So although Obito would not be crushed to pieces, the bone-deep pain made him hold his stomach and vomit. Then ignore Obito and come to Uzumaki Nagato's side. How, after discovering the truth, do you feel your own powerlessness? Hearing Namikaze Kirito's question, Uzumaki Nagato smiled self-deprecatingly. It seems that you made him say it on purpose. We have been manipulated all our lives, so it's only natural that we end up like this. Advertisement. Namikaze Kirito suddenly stretched out his hand and placed it on Nagato's stomach. Conan was about to step forward to stop him, but found that Nagato's body was gradually changing. In the shock of Uzumaki Nagato and Conan, the white hair has returned to red, and the thin body has become normal again. Reincarnated technique. This technique is to distribute one's own vitality to others, and Namikaze Kirito not only has a strong vitality, but also developed a way to transfer vitality for follow-up carefree. Everyone in Gensokyo has a long lifespan, let alone the leader. How is this possible? Feeling that his body was gradually recovering and upgrading, Nagato asked with a complicated face. Don't worry, I won't let you die, even if Shinigami comes, I won't be able to take you away. This is not blowing, after all, Namikaze Minato's soul was made out of Shinigami's stomach. Hand covered in armament haki. Pulled out several black sticks inserted in Uzumaki Nagato's Jr. Finally let the other party fully recover, thanks. Seeing that his companion recovered, Conan said to Namikaze Kirito with red eyes. Don't be in a hurry to thank me, I saved you all for my purpose, Nagato, I need your strength, follow me. Hearing this, Uzumaki Nagato bowed his head and thought for a moment. When 0.0 looked up again, there was a trace of firmness in his eyes. My second life was given by you, and I will use it for you. In fact, Uzumaki Nagato emotion wave wind Kirito, not only because the other party saved himself, if the other party did not appear. Conan will probably be killed by Uchiha Obito outright. Even if he died, he would have no face to see Yahiko in Pure Land. That's why he spoke to Namikaze Kirito so resolutely. Hearing what Uzumaki Nagato said, Namikaze Kirito nodded in satisfaction, and then looked at Uchiha Obito. Obito, are you scared? Does this feeling of powerlessness run through your whole body? Then, he walked over to Obito, who was clutching his stomach, and put his hands on his shoulders. I won't let you die now, it's too cheap for you, just wait until the day I bring the ball to you. Chapter 92. The Spy of Cloud Shinobi Village. Originally Nagato was going to make a break with Uchiha Obito, but heard Namikaze Kirito say so. It seemed that there was something more painful than killing him. What's more, Nagato also chose to follow Namikaze Kirito, so it is even more impossible to make a shot without authorization. Standing aside respectfully with Conan, there was no words. Let's go. Namikaze Kirito walked straight out of the cave with two new men. Completely ignoring Uchiha Obito behind him, if eyes could kill, Namikaze Kirito and the three of them would probably have died countless times. On the way back to Konoha, Uzumaki Nagato suddenly talked a lot. It seems to have been untied. Before, I was always under the pressure of the promise with Yahiko, and I was full of pressure. Now I choose to follow Namikaze Kirito, but I don't have that feeling. Not to mention, Namikaze Kirito can bring people back to life. It doesn't cost much. Then Nagato and Conan's parents, as well as Yahiko, will definitely meet again in the not-too-distant future. 21. Thinking of this, Nagato and Conan couldn't help but be full of anticipation. What? It seems that you have already figured it out. Namikaze Kirito said with a smile on his face. The reason why he chooses Uzumaki Nagato as his subordinate is that the first point is to hold Rinnegan in his own hands, and the second point is even simpler, simply because he has a good impression of the two of them. Thank you, leader. Otherwise we might still be kept in the dark by that Uchiha Obito. Even if we collect tailed beasts in the future, we will fall into their black hands. Uzumaki Nagato just heard Obito say everything. The planned collection of tail beasts will inevitably make a wedding dress for him. So what if he had the Rinnegan? Like he said, the Rinnegan wasn't his at all. Konan didn't speak, but the gratitude in those beautiful eyes can be seen by anyone. It's good if you can figure it out. What I just told you is not empty talk. As long as you behave well, you will definitely be able to see your deceased relatives in the future. If you want to master a person, you must master the other party's weaknesses. For Uzumaki Nagato and Konan, death is not so terrible for them. Only relatives and companions are the existence they cherish. And Namikaze Kirito, who has the ninjutsu of bringing the dead back to life, couldn't be more easy to handle the opponent. Leader, when you get back to the village, take off my eyes. Nagato. Hearing what Uzumaki Nagato said, Konan's tone contained a hint of worry, and just as he called out his name, he was interrupted by Nagato. Advertisement, Konan, don't worry, this Rinnegan is not mine at all, even if I take it off, it will be fine. Okay, Nagato, I'll leave the eyes to you for the time being, Rinnegan doesn't have much use for me right now. Namikaze Kirito also wants Rinnegan's ability, but it can't be obtained through transplantation. Don't you see, the tragedy after Nagato was transplanted to Rinnegan. And only some of Rinnegan's basic abilities can be used. There is no way to develop a deeper layer. If Namikaze Kirito wants Rinnegan now, the best way is to use the ability of the Dark Fruit to absorb the chakra of Indra and Ashura. Then absorb Sharingan, and finally complete the evolution of Rinnegan by yourself. In this way, the awakened Rinnegan is the most suitable. Nagato on the side was obviously taken aback when he saw what Namikaze Kirito said. To be honest, he always thought that Namikaze Kirito asked him to follow because of these eyes. After all, when looking at the battle, the opponent's ability. Wood style, strange darkness, strange power of shock, many abilities. And also has the ability to absorb chakra. So he proposed it on his own initiative, just to make this matter logical, so as not to cause a gap between each other's hearts after Namikaze Kirito said it himself. But never expected, Namikaze Kirito didn't like his eyes at all. But, Chief, okay, don't say any more, since I have taken you as my subordinate, you have the ability I need. If I wanted Rinnegan, I would have taken it just now, why bother? Thank you, leader. Thank you, leader. Konan followed suit and was finally relieved to hear that Namikaze Kirito didn't need Nagato's eyes. As soon as she looked up, she saw Namikaze Kirito looking at her with a strange look. I can't help but start thinking about it. The leader let me go once when I was in Konoha. This time we have to follow again, and we don't need Nagato's eyes. It's me? It seemed that he was suddenly surprised by his own thoughts. Konan, who was usually cold, had red ears. Uzumaki Nagato was surprised when he saw Konan, who was about to smoke. Konan, what's wrong with you? No, nothing. Advertisement. The flustered Konan hurriedly explained, but he didn't know that this performance was even more so. Even Namikaze Kirito looked at her suspiciously. This made her blush even more. The three of them were already strong, and they traveled very fast, but Namikaze Kirito said that they had to look at the surrounding area, so they walked like a walk. After about half a day, as the sun was setting, Nagato, who was advancing, suddenly stopped and looked back with a cold face. Come out. Swish swish. Several figures appeared beside the three of them. That's Rinnegan, red hair, Konoha's Namikaze Kirito. Send someone to inform Lord Raikage. Their outfits, plus the ninja forehead protector on their foreheads, clearly belong to Rain Shinobi Village, 400. The elderly captain in the middle recognized Uzumaki Nagato's eyes and the identity of Namikaze Kirito at a glance. As a person in the intelligence department, the first task is to understand the various situations in the ninja world. After recognizing the identity of Namikaze Kirito, they knew that they would not be opponents of the other party, so they made a decisive decision and sent people to leave, and they left behind. Seeing that two people were about to leave, Uzumaki Nagato held out his hand. Universal pull. Call. A strong gravitational force appeared, and the surrounding trees began to tilt in this direction. The two fleeing ninjas only felt that their bodies were flying backwards uncontrollably. Okay, Nagato. Namikaze Kirito stretched out his hand, put it on Nagato's arm, and pressed down. Leader? Seeing the puzzled look on Uzumaki Nagato's face, Namikaze Kirito said with a smile. I was looking for a reason to go to Cloud Shinobi Village, isn't this just a chance? Hearing this, the team leader of Cloud Shinobi Village immediately changed his face. He wanted to hurry to stop the two from passing information, but pieces of white origami had already appeared beside them. Swish swish swish. Konan Bingshue is smart and understood the meaning of Namikaze Kirito immediately. Hokage of Konoha Village is Namikaze Minato, the father of Namikaze Kirito, who wants to rule the entire ninja world without a valid reason. Violence alone will not work. The other party will always stand upright. Chapter 93 Bullying Tamari, 2 ways. But if the other party took the initiative to find trouble, then no one else could be blamed. It is also because I understand Namikaze Kirito's thoughts, so the people from Cloud Shinobi Village in front of me must not stay. The blood mist scattered all over the sky, leaving only 3 Namikaze Kirito standing in place. Seeing Konan's actions, Namikaze Kirito nodded in satisfaction. Such a smart subordinate is the most worry-free. Then the three turned around and continued walking in the direction of Konoha. Konoha village. Namikaze Minato was looking at the document in his hand. It says the new identities of Uzumaki Nagato and Konan. The two have officially joined Konoha, and they are Anbu. As early as a few days ago, when Namikaze Kirito brought the two to the village. No one is more excited than Jiraiya. Seeing his two disciples, a feeling of regaining what was lost spontaneously arose. Hearing what happened to Yahiko, Jiraiya also shed tears. I don't care about the tasks, I put down the work at hand, and just chat with the two disciples every day. I can't wait to fill in the gaps of these years, and the second happy one is Uzumaki Kushina. As we all know, the Uzumaki family has long been wiped out, and now it is not only my own family, but also Korin from Gensokyo, plus the newcomer Uzumaki Nagato. Just pass it on. Sooner or later, the Uzumaki clan will appear in the sight of the ninja world. Namikaze Minato is also very happy. After all, Rinnegan is also an important force in the village. Today, Namikaze Kirito's ambitions are well known among Konoha's senior management. Of course, the stronger the village, the better. And Namikaze Kirito became serious these days, took his 3 sand shinobi cubs, and started to carry out the official mission. There are no A or B level tasks, and he is happy and leisurely. And those 3 people attacked him whenever they had time. The assassination of the 3 brats was nothing to him, not even a single hair fell out. But the feel of Temari has been tasted all over. Temari, who was often red-faced, was questioned by Kankuro because neither he nor Gaara knew what was going on. I thought my sister was injured, but Temari hesitated and refused to speak every time, making Kankuro's head full of garden water. Among Senju's clanlands, this place has completely turned into a resting place for Namikaze Kirito. Shizune and Tsunade have to come back late every day because of the medical department. After completing the mission, Tsunade's big bed became Namikaze Kirito's resting place. Advertisement, I am back. Tsunade walked in with a glass of water, carefully looking at Namikaze Kirito on the bed. But what she doesn't know is that things like transformation technique are completely useless to Namikaze Kirito. Observation Haki is to perceive a person's breath. Besides, if it is Tsunade, how could he come in so politely? He had already kicked the door open. Will you bring him a glass of water? What joke? But Namikaze Kirito didn't just expose the opponent, he wanted to see what his nominal disciple was up to. You've been tired all day, drink a glass of water and take a rest. Tsunade handed the water glass to Namikaze Kirito, looking a little averted. Looking at the appearance of Tsunade, Namikaze Kirito has a hint of teasing in his eyes. Then, amidst the other party's exclamation, he hugged her to the bed by the waist. Water is not in a hurry, but I want to drink you. You. Namikaze Kirito, what are you going to do? Tsunade was flustered and at a loss, her delicate face flushed because Namikaze Kirito was too close to her at this time. What are you doing? Namikaze Kirito made a confused look. Didn't we agree yesterday? Have you forgotten? Yesterday? What did we say yesterday? Have you forgotten what we said? Are you impersonating? There was a hint of danger in Namikaze Kirito's eyes. Hearing this, Tsunade's body visibly stiffened, and then he spoke forcefully. No. Of course I haven't forgotten. I'm just too busy, so it's better for you. You remind me, I'll definitely remember. Yes. After seeing Tsunade nodding, Namikaze Kirito put his mouth against her ear with a smirk and spoke softly. As soon as he finished speaking, Tsunade was stunned, and then his whole body turned red. What kind of tiger and wolf word is this? Temari thought about it and saw that Namikaze Kirito and Tsunade were dating. Use the transformation technique to transform into Tsunade, poison the water in the cup, and trick the other party into drinking it. Who knew that the two of them were so impure? Such an agreement was made. No, absolutely not. But the other party obviously didn't find out now. What should they do? Advertisement, how about, why don't you drink a glass of water before we continue? Temari, who has no human experience, said patiently and shyly. I'm not thirsty now, put the water here, and it's not too late to drink after it's over. After speaking, just as Namikaze Kirito was about to act, Temari stopped him immediately. Seeing that the plan was about to succeed, she didn't want to give up halfway, but she couldn't accept such a thing. Don't move, what's wrong? Namikaze Kirito asked, doubtfully. I can't, no, then there is no way, but. Temari was just relieved when she heard Namikaze Kirito give up, but the words she said next made her heart ache again. I have 2 options, how about you choose one? Then Namikaze Kirito approached her ear again and spoke. The more I listen to it, the more I want to become an ostrich. Temari thought, why not just show your cards, anyway, it's just a beating. But at this moment, Namikaze Kirito continued to speak. How about I drink that glass of water later? Hearing this, Temari was stunned again, then took a deep breath as if he had made some decision in his heart. Money is good. Victory is in front of you, how can you give up halfway? Forget about the second method, just try the first method. Temari took off his shoes. Night fell. Temari has completely removed the transformation technique and walked out of the Senju tribe with a face full of resentment. While walking, he was still muttering to himself. Look carefully, her jade-like red lips are even redder now. Damn. The liar. The B**************. He must have found out it was me. it was on purpose. Give back the option? The first option doesn't work at all? Soon, they returned to the place where the three of them lived. Under Konkuro's strange eyes, Temari began to wash his feet and rinse his mouth. The other side, Namikaze Minato, who was still in the office, received a letter from Cloud Shinobi Village. The above shows that a group of messengers will arrive at Konoha tomorrow, hoping to welcome them. Chapter 94. The arrival of the Cloud Shinobi Village messenger. I slept until noon. After Namikaze Kirito woke up, he came to the barbecue shop. I just did a few missions before, and I have made an appointment to bring my 3 Sand Shinobi Village ghosts here to celebrate. Entering the private room, the 3 of them had been waiting for a long time. Gaara still had that gloomy face, but Konkuro had a look of anticipation in his eyes. Among the restaurants in Konoha, his favorite is this barbecue. Temari, on the other hand, kept avoiding his gaze, completely ignoring Namikaze Kirito. In the occasional glimpse, the eyes are full of complex colors. Her mind was full of what happened yesterday, and she kept thinking about whether she was exposed or not. Namikaze Kirito sat across from the 3 of them with a smile on his face. It didn't take long for the raw meat to be served, and Namikaze Kirito was also in charge of putting the meat on the grill. The sizzling sound of the barbecue, coupled with the aroma, made Konkuro's eyes widen, and his saliva almost flowed down. After roasting for a while, the meat was fully cooked, and everyone started to move their chopsticks. Temari was eating with his head down, when he suddenly felt his foot was kicked by someone. He stretched forward curiously, and then was hooked by a foot. She looked up and saw Namikaze Kirito on the opposite side looking at her. There was a trace of deep meaning in his eyes. He definitely found out it was me. Turns out it was me who made me do that. The B*****************************************************************************************************************************************่mh panicked completely at this moment, and didn't even notice that his shoes were taken off. Then put it in a familiar place. Konkuro ate the meat with all his heart, and Gaara also ate slowly. Neither of them noticed the movement under the table, only Temari was in a daze. How dare he? How dare he? A meal, under Temari's panic, took a long time to end. Then they separated, and Namikaze Kirito went to the Hokage building because Anbu came to inform him. The messenger from Cloud Shinobi Village has arrived. Inside Hokage's office, a Cloud Shinobi with short blonde hair was talking to Namikaze Minato. 4th Hokage, our people in Cloud Shinobi Village were killed by your Konoha ninjas for no reason, and the perpetrator was your son, Namikaze Kirito. Shouldn't we have an explanation for this matter? Suddenly attacking ninjas from other villages is not cool at all. The blonde woman is Samui, and she is the messenger sent by Cloud Shinobi Village this time. Advertisement under normal circumstances, such an important high-level person would not be allowed to come. If the other party turned his face, it would be dangerous. But Cloud Shinobi Village still sent her here, which shows the importance it attaches to this matter. CBCI. After all, that's the Rinnegan. This is a big deal. Cloud Shinobi Village and Rock Shinobi Village exchanged information on the incident of Rain Shinobi Village a few days ago. Onoki of Rock Shinobi Village used to have a cooperative relationship with Akatsuki. And Deidara returned to Rock Shinobi Village after leaving Akatsuki, so they know what happened to Rain Shinobi Village. This is a big deal. The leader of Akatsuki has Rinnegan, and lost to Namikaze Kirito. Onoki had no intention of hiding this matter at all. An enemy of an enemy is a friend. The 5 major ninja villages are divided into 5 parts of the world, and now the dominance of Konoha's family makes both ninja villages feel threatened. If there is no further action, I am afraid that I will really have to wait until the day when someone calls at the door. So Cloud Shinobi Village and Rock Shinobi Village reached an alliance agreement. Although there is a feud between the 2 villages, which village has no hatred between the villages? To put it bluntly, it is still driven by interests. Listening to Samui's words, Namikaze Minato couldn't help feeling a little helpless in his heart. Although he doesn't want to do what his son is going to do, he has already started, and there is no option to turn back. This messenger, this matter. Just tell me. Before Namikaze Minato could finish speaking, Namikaze Kirito's voice sounded. Everyone looked around, and Namikaze Kirito was slowly walking in from the door. This was the first time seeing him in person, and Samui stared straight at Namikaze Kirito with cold eyes, as if trying to see through him. 4 major Hokages, is this the situation in your village? When Hokages were talking, someone came and interrupted them directly. A ninja from Cloud Shinobi Village made a sarcasm. Boom. Just after saying this sentence, everyone only felt a black shadow passing by. The sarcastic Cloud Shinobi flew out in response, and his whole body was embedded in the wall. Namikaze Kirito, bah. Several Cloud Shinobi were about to make a move when they were stopped by Samuel. Namikaze Kirito, what do you mean? We are envoys representing Cloud Shinobi Village. Are you planning to start a war against us by acting like this? Advertisement, war. Hey. Namikaze Kirito stepped forward, looking at the crowd of Cloud Shinobi with disdain. You Cloud Shinobi Village sent people to follow me. How do you explain this matter? Are you going to start a war with us? If he beat him up directly, a calm person like Sammy couldn't help but get angry for a while. Obviously you shot our people. Where's the evidence? Namikaze Kirito shrugged, looking indifferent. You don't even have evidence, so you come to our village to make trouble? Namikaze Kirito, let me tell you, our people were originally going to investigate the Rain Shinobi Village incident. We signed a non-aggression treaty before. As the 5 great ninja villages, of course we have to look at the situation of Rain Shinobi Village. It turns out that you did what happened to Rain Shinobi Village, and you violated the contract first. Besides, our people appeared by your side, intending to ask you about Rain Shinobi Village, but you shot directly. The ninjas in our village can't die for no reason, you have to give me an explanation for this matter. Samuel said calmly, it's better to talk about your conditions first. Seeing Namikaze Kirito let go, Sam's eyes lit up, and they guessed right. The current Konoha, third Hokage, has just died. Although there are many strong people, it is obvious that the village is still unstable and is not ready for war at all. It is also the best time to raise conditions at this time. But Cloud Shinobi Village guessed wrong. They thought it was the era when third Hokage was in power, and it was impossible to reproduce the Hyuga Hizashi incident. Sam still didn't know clearly at this time, so he spoke on his own. It is said that the leader of the Akatsuki organization was arrested by you. Our Cloud Shinobi Village has only one condition. Konoha apologized publicly, and then handed over the leader of the criminal organization to us. After all, what this organization did has hurt our Cloud Shinobi Village. Interests. Come for Rinnegan? Samui looked at Namikaze Kirito with a hint of bewilderment in his eyes. Are people speaking so frankly these days? Are we shameless? He is a high-level person, and he always leaves room for words. Even if Cloud Shinobi Village came for Rinnegan, he would not say it directly. Similarly, in their opinion, Konoha's people would not say it clearly. Who knew Namikaze Kirito completely ignored everything? I don't save any face for myself. Right? Samui nodded. The other party had already said it directly. If she didn't say it directly, she didn't think it was cool at all. Chapter 95. Declaration of War. Namikaze Kirito glanced at Samui with interest. He didn't expect that the other party would admit it so readily. How? Namikaze Kirito, as long as you hand him over, this matter will be over. Our two Cloud Shinobi Village and Rock Shinobi Village will not start a war against Konoha, and we will sign a 30-year non-aggression treaty. Samuel said calmly. She is not the only one who thinks this is the case. The senior officials of Junin Village and Cloud Shinobi Village also think so. The current Konoha is not suitable for war and needs time to develop. Similarly, Rock Shinobi Village and Cloud Shinobi Village also need some time to study Rinnegan. Konoha shouldn't care about the eyes of such a fairy. After all, Namikaze Kirito defeated the leader of the Akatsuki organization, so why would he care about Rinnegan? I reject. Hearing Namikaze Kirito say these three words without hesitation, Sam could not help being a little dazed. Namikaze Kirito, do you know what your refusal means? It will bring war to our three villages? War is really good. Namikaze Kirito spoke with a smile. How about this? The alliance formed by our Konoha and your Cloud Shinobi Village Rock Shinobi Village officially declares war. Are you joking? Samuel opened her mouth with difficulty, but she didn't expect the result to be like this. After all, it was like this when third Hokage was in power, and Konoha would give everything for peace. When was it so strong? Joke. Puff. Namikaze Kirito waved his hand, and Cloud Shinobi except Samui were all tied up with rattan, unable to move. What are you going to do? Samui took a step back, pulled out the short sword from his waist, and said with a frosty face. Didn't I tell you? The war is about to begin. Our Konoha and your two villages have officially declared war. Since it is a war, it is enough to leave you alone to report back, and they will stay. Hearing what Namikaze Kirito said, Samui said with a look of resentment. Even in war, it is the rule not to kill the envoy. Are you Konoha going to break this rule? Rules? Hee. My rules are called rules, and only the strong are worthy of making rules. Since you Cloud Shinobi Village is aggressive, don't blame Konoha for starting a war. Advertisement. Seeing that Namikaze Kirito would not let go, Samui quickly turned his head to look at Namikaze Minato. Fourth Hokage, are you going to let your son do evil? Minato also had a wry smile at the moment. Of course he didn't agree with such behavior, but Kirito was his son, and he had said before that no matter what he did, he would support him. Now that things are in this situation, there is no way out. Although I am the fourth Hokage, my son is the current full commander of the war. When the war is decided to start, even I, Hokage, have to obey the arrangement. Ms. Cloud Shinobi Village, I hope you can understand. Father, you should leave first. As for this matter, leave it to me. Namikaze Kirito didn't want to be brutal in front of his own relatives. Hearing the words of his eldest son, Namikaze Minato nodded, and then disappeared into the office minister with a flash of golden light. Only the desperate eyes of Cloud Shinobi remained. Damn. Let them go. Sam left as soon as she saw the last one. The life of her companions could only depend on her own. Then she took the short sword and attacked. Clang. What? Sam looked at the scene in front of him in disbelief. Her short sword was blocked, of course, by Namikaze Kirito, which is not surprising at all. After all, she knew Namikaze Kirito's ability from intelligence, not to mention that after the incident in Rain Shinobi Village, who didn't know that Namikaze Kirito had already stood at the pinnacle of the ninja world. So it is not surprising that the knife is blocked by the opponent. But I never thought that the other party actually blocked his own blade with only one finger. What are you wondering about? With a smile on his face, Namikaze Kirito slowly bent his outstretched index finger and touched the blade. Hateful. Sammy tried to draw the knife back, but that finger was like an iron clamp, tightly holding the blade. It seems that there is no way. Call out. She made a decisive decision, directly discarded the knife and stepped back, and then her hands began to form seals. Bu. What? Advertisement. As soon as he was about to cast lightning style, he heard the screams of his companions, and immediately turned his head to look, and the vines wrapped around them became tighter and tighter. It was as if the whole person was about to be crushed. Stop! Namikaze Kirito, Sammy, who was always cold and calm, couldn't bear it anymore, and shouted loudly with tears in her beautiful eyes. Why stop? Aren't you Cloud Shinobi Village and Rock Shinobi Village allied to invade Konoha? If so, why should I stop torturing my enemies? We didn't think about starting a war. Just trying to use this as an excuse to get your Rinnegan. Samui loudly denied that. Indeed, although Konoha was not ready to fight, the powerful strength displayed by Namikaze Kirito made Onoki and I dare not act rashly. You must know that once the war starts, it will never be stopped in a short time. Except for one side surrendering, Namikaze Kirito showed that destructive power in Rain Shinobi Village. If it happens in their village, they will lose most of it before they surrender. No ninja village can bear such a loss. That is to say, are you trying to scare me? If there are really you, as punishment, use the lives of the ninjas in your village to pay for it. After saying that, Namikaze Kirito slowly clenched his fists. As the fists closed, Fujiki tightened his grip, and the ninjas of Cloud Shinobi Village began to spurt blood from their bodies. The blood vessels and skin on the body are being torn, and the bones are almost stretched to the limit. No, Namikaze Kirito, as long as you don't kill them, I'll let Master Raikage give you any compensation. Samui of Rare Companion is completely disoriented. Although she is as cold as ice on weekdays, her heart is hot, and she is extremely rare of her companions in the village. How can you just watch them die here? Still such a painful way to die. Any conditions are fine, but it's a pity that you don't have anything worth asking for except for your good looks. Namikaze Kirito continued to clench his fists. Damn it, Lord Samui, leave us alone, go back and tell Lord Raikage. That's right, when we die, Lord Raikage will avenge us. Namikaze Kirito, you will be punished sooner or later, you demon. The people from Cloud Shinobi Village were all hard-headed, and they didn't beg for mercy, but wanted to die. But the more they said this, the more Samui wanted them to survive. Chapter 96. The Fourth Ninja World War begins. Wait a minute, Namikaze Kirito. At this moment, Samui calmed down instead, looking directly at Namikaze Kirito with her beautiful eyes. Afterwards, as if he had made up his mind, he took a deep breath and spoke word by word. I'll stay with you and let them go. Before Namikaze Kirito could say anything, all the ninjas in Cloud Shinobi Village quit. Samuel, with her beautiful face and devil-like figure, is usually the goddess of Cloud Shinobi Village. There are not a few people who pursue her, because they have to sacrifice themselves to keep them alive. This is absolutely unacceptable to them. Lord Samuel, I won't allow you to do this, just die. That's right. The ninjas of our Cloud Shinobi Village can die, but they can't be insulted. Lord Samui, you must leave. Namikaze Kirito, what are you waiting for? Kill labor. Namikaze Kirito looked at Sammy with interest. In fact, the reason why he talked so much with the other party is that Samuel is somewhat similar to his woman, Tsunade, in all aspects. Otherwise, they would have died together, but this woman actually intends to sacrifice herself for the sake of her fellow villagers? What a good choice. But, I refuse. There was a flash of red in Namikaze Kirito's eyes, and then he clenched his fists tightly. Pooh! The tightened rattan crushed all the Cloud Shinobi in an instant, as if a blood rain had rained down in Hokage's office, and Samuel stared blankly at all this. The cold face was full of despair. She didn't expect that the man in front of her would still attack after talking to this extent. Namikaze Kirito. You devil! Samui gritted his teeth and stared at Namikaze Kirito. The huge murderous intent in his eyes wished to smash him to pieces. Thanks for the compliment. Are you planning to go back to Cloud Shinobi Village to report to that guy Raikage, or are you planning to stay and share dinner with me? Namikaze Kirito opened his mouth gently, and the dripping blood rain did not stain his body at all. As soon as he approached, he was pushed away by an invisible airwave. Damn you! Advertisement Samui picked up the short sword on the ground, and rushed towards Namikaze Kirito as if it had collapsed. Boom! A whip kick directly hit Sammy's lower abdomen, and she also flew backwards in response, smashing the cabinet next to the wall. Cough cough. Samui fell on the ground, spitting out a few mouthfuls of blood. Masaki stared at Namikaze Kirito closely. Are you going to ruin the kindness your companions have given you? Shut up. Namikaze Kirito, an evil person like you is not qualified to mention companions. Sooner or later, you will be punished by justice. Innocent guy. Namikaze Kirito shook his head, with a little helplessness in his tone. Aren't you coming to Konoha to persecute us to gain benefits? What's the difference between you and me? The me who kills you is evil, and you who persecute Konoha represent justice. That's right. You destroyed the entire Rain Shinobi village in order to get the leader of the Akatsuki organization. Isn't that evil enough? Sam fought with reason. The villagers of Rain Shinobi village have been relocated a long time ago, and they are now accepted by our Konoha. The environment of our Konoha is much better than that of Rain Shinobi village, right? As long as the ninja world can be unified, there will be no more wars. Namikaze Kirito walked up to Samui, then pulled a chair and sat down. And as long as you follow me, I will lead you into an absolute ideal land, isn't that good? Unification of the ninja world. Hearing Namikaze Kirito's ambition, Samui's heart was suddenly surrounded by a chill. It turned out that I and others really came to the door, even if Cloud Shinobi village did not come to provoke Konoha. In order to unify the ninja world, this man in front of him would inevitably start a war. And now Cloud Shinobi Village directly gives them a reason. Forcing Konoha to hand over his companions, isn't this a perfect reason to start a war? Needless to say, the dead comrades will also be labeled as those who forcibly attacked Konoha Shinobi. It doesn't matter whether the people in other villages believe or not, the important thing is that Konoha has a fair reason to start the war. Looking at you, it seems that you don't want to stay for dinner. Anyway, you can go back and tell Raikage, we will see you again in the ruins of Rain Shinobi Village soon. Sammy understood everything, stood up calmly, and wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth. Then he opened the door and walked out of the Hokage building. Advertisement Namikaze Kirito stood by the window, looking at the receding figure with a smile on his face. Then came to the meeting room of the Hokage building. The place is full of people now, Sannin, Uchiha clan, Hyuga clan, Ino Shikacho, Inazuka, etc., including 4th Hokage Namikaze Minato are all here. Leader. Seeing Namikaze Kirito coming here, Orochimaru said hello respectfully, and then stood behind Namikaze Kirito. Everyone, I have called you here today, and there is only one thing to announce. We are going to start the 4th Ninja War. Hearing what Namikaze Kirito said, everyone in Konoha was in an uproar. Although they had been told about this a long time ago, it is inevitable that they will have complicated emotions in their hearts now that it is about to start. What? Really? Are we Konoha going to war against the entire ninja world? Isn't it too early now? What's too early? If you want me to say, it should have been done a long time ago. If it weren't for that guy Sarutobi Hiruzen, wouldn't we be able to weather the snow? For the sake of peace, I have done so many humiliating things, and now I should pay back. Namikaze Minato walked to his son, with a hint of hesitation in his eyes. The last thing he wanted was war, but the other party had already made a decision. Kirito, have you really thought about it? Once the war starts, I'm afraid there will be no turning back. Don't worry, father, I understand. Namikaze Kirito nodded. Let's not talk about his current strength. Let's say that after the war is fully started, San Shinobi Village will face Konoha. There is Gensokyo organization's whole card and an agreement has already been reached with Terumi Mei. 4.9 In other words, the real face is only Rock Shinobi Village and Cloud Shinobi Village. Only deal with these two villages. Even if Namikaze Kirito does not take action, Konoha with such power can quickly end the war in a crushing manner. Tsunade also came over. Usually she still looks like a proud teacher. Different from Yu Hihong's gentleness, she has a bold and violent character. But when she heard that Namikaze Kirito was going to start the 4th Ninja World War, she didn't say much, and walked behind Namikaze Kirito, holding his big hand with that soft and boneless jade hand. Use actions to show that no matter what you do, you will support him. Yu Hihong, who was not far away, saw this scene and didn't look jealous. After so long, she has actually discovered the friendship between the two, and Tsunade has also discovered Yu Hihong. It's just that neither of them said anything. Chapter 97 Deployment Before the War, each village takes action. 3 days passed quickly. During these 3 days, Konoha village entered a state of combat readiness. The villagers are not allowed to leave their homes, and the Uchiha family is responsible for the security management of the entire village. The Hyuga clan is in charge of patrolling, and the Ino Shikacho clan is to find out the spies in the villages. Anbu and Gensokyo organize all staff to inquire about the movements of the villages. And Namikaze Kirito has been in Konoha's meeting room these days, discussing war matters with many high-level officials. War is not a child's play. Even if Namikaze Kirito has top-level strength, it is impossible to directly destroy the entire village of the opponent. After all, the ninja world needs to be unified, rather than just killing everyone. It's still a fard to rule. Konoha also conveyed instructions to San Shinobi Village, and they only need to obey orders and act at critical moments, and there is no need to directly declare war. Wu Ninja Village also made it clear that it would not participate in the war. Terumi Mei plans to come to Konoha sometime to talk about the future. At the same time, Cloud Shinobi Village and Rock Shinobi Village have also entered a state of alert, and news has spread throughout the ninja world. 21. Cloud Shinobi Village and Rock Shinobi Village want to put pressure on Konoha for profit. And the messengers from Cloud Shinobi Village launched a surprise attack on Namikaze Kirito. In the end, Konoha's ninja killed several people and decided to declare war on the two villages. Ready to start the 4th Ninja War, in the office of Cloud Shinobi Village. Boom. There was a loud bang, and the hot-tempered Raikage had changed countless tables. Every time there was a big event, the first one to suffer was the table. Damn Konoha, hateful Namikaze Kirito, it's too deceitful. On the opposite side, a very short old man was drinking tea calmly. Seeing Raikage getting so angry, Tiansheng said. Raikage, don't be so angry, since Konoha has declared war, let's go ahead. Raikage eye glared fiercely at the old man in front of him. Onoki, it's our ninja who died, of course you won't be angry. What nonsense are you talking about here? Advertisement. The old man is the 3rd Tsuchikage of Rock Shinobi Village, Onoki. After receiving the news of Konoha's declaration of war, he closed Rock Shinobi Village. He also came to Cloud Shinobi Village to discuss the war. Seeing Raikage's murderous look, Onoki secretly smiled in his heart, but he couldn't show it. After all, they're currently in an alliance. I am still in other people's village. If I accidentally cause a conflict, the problem will be big. Raikage, I know that the death of ninjas in your village makes you uncomfortable, but the war has already started. We have to think about countermeasures. Master Raikage. Just when I was still thinking about Onoki's words, Sammy, who was on the side, came out, lowered his head, and spoke respectfully. The death of my subordinates is my incompetence, and I hope to give me a chance to lead the troops to eliminate sleepy vomiting. As a secretary, Mabui should have asked Samui to step down at this time. After all, it was a conversation between two shadows, but she thought of Samui's current state, sighed, and did not speak. Samui. I looked at Zisha distress-edly and comforted him. The thing about Konoha has nothing to do with you. If you want to blame it, you can blame me. I didn't expect that Namikaze Kirito to be so insane. Don't take the responsibility on yourself, and don't worry, you have such a strong combat power. Once the war starts, I will let you fight. Hearing what Hokage said, Samui nodded, and then stepped aside. In the past few days, everyone saw Samui's appearance, and they knew how much Konoha's incident had hit her. Originally a cold personality, these days it has directly become indifferent. He didn't even leave the room, and only came to Hokage's office when he heard that there was going to be a war. Onoki, our village is ready for war, but it's not a problem to wait like this. I plan to take the initiative to attack directly. Ai's eyes are full of fighting intent. After all, he is a fighting maniac himself, but in Hokage's position, his temper is often suppressed. Now Konoha declares war, just as he wants. You're right, we can't sit still, that's what I think. Your village is attacking from the direction of Yuno country, and we are directly using Rain Shinobi village, and we both directly surround Konoha. Yes, I think so too. Konoha is at the time of preparations, and there shouldn't be so many troops to fight on both sides. If you delay, you will drag them to death. Onogi and Ai's ideas hit it off. After all, this also reduces some unnecessary worries, each fighting independently, and launching an attack on one target at the same time. But there's still a problem. Advertisement. Onoki frowned. Over the Land of Winds, I asked the daimyos of the Land of Earth to talk to them, but the news didn't seem to spread. For some reason, the daimyo's mansion of the Land of Winds was completely blocked. HMPH, Namikaze Kirito is so unruly, maybe the daimyo of the Kingdom of Wind has already been controlled by him. Lang snorted, which can be seen from Namikaze Kirito's treatment of several Cloud Shinobi village messengers. He is an unruly person at all, and the opponent intends to unify the ambition of the ninja world. It is not surprising if he really attacks the daimyo of the Land of Wind. Then put Sand Shinobi village in the sequence that may participate in the battle. Onoki said with a serious tone. That guy Luosha has already been scared by Namikaze Kirito, not to mention that the two villages have formed an alliance. In case Sand Shinobi village suddenly attacks us, Hokage, you have to join the fight. The Land of Wind is close to the Land of Earth, but the Land of Thunder 317 is far away, so if Sand Shinobi village gets involved in the battle, Rock Shinobi village will be the first to suffer. Sand Shinobi village is nothing to worry about. I said, his tone full of disdain. It's just a waste village, a Kazekage who was scared after being beaten, and Jinchuriki is also a hostage in Konoha, so he doesn't have the strength to fight now. As the shadow of a village, I looked down on 4th Kazekage Luosha very much, and was captured twice by Namikaze Kirito. He didn't have the determination to fight to the death, so he joined if he couldn't beat him. Doesn't deserve the title at all. Unlike the muscular Hokage, the wily Onoki doesn't take his enemies lightly. War is not a child's play, one hair will affect the whole body, and all variables must be taken into account. Seeing that Onoki didn't speak, Hokage knew what he was paying attention to and said impatiently. If Sand Shinobi village joins the battle, I will let my brother lead an army to support you. Sure enough, Onoki's face was overjoyed when he heard this. Then it's settled, the old man is going back, just remember our agreement. Then he took his men and left Hokage's office. I looked at Onogi's back with a hint of disdain in his eyes. What a timid old fellow. Chapter 98 Discussion on Mist Ninja Village. Mist Ninja Village. Terumi Mei is a very resourceful woman. After becoming 5th Mizukage, the village has completely changed. Both the economy and the number of ninjas have increased dramatically. They also sent people to invite the descendants of the Shueiji family who escaped from the village back to the village one by one. This is their rare and precious property, in Mist Ninja's office. Many high-level officials have also gathered here, and there are information on Konoha and Rock Shinobi Cloud Shinobi on the table. Mizukage-sama, it seems that this war is inevitable, what should we do? Ching has become Mizukage's right-hand man as she wished, and now she is at ease in the village. We have promised Namikaze Kirito that we will not be involved in this matter. Terumi Mei is a bit more mature than a few years ago, and her figure is also fuller, which seems to be on par with Tsunade. Looking at the information in front of him, his thoughts returned to that passionate kiss a few years ago. At this moment, a short Anbu officer wearing a mask stepped forward and spoke respectfully. Master Mizukage, I think we still have to participate in this war. If we really maintain neutrality, no matter which side wins the final victory, I am afraid that we will not let our existence go. Yugura, take off your mask when there are no outsiders. Terumi Mei looked at the Anbu member in front of her and spoke softly. That's right, this Minister Anbu is 4th Mizukage Yugura, because the village cannot live without Jinchuriki, and Yugura has also woken up. A perfect Jinchuriki can decide the direction of a battle, and it is impossible for Terumi Mei to waste such an important combat power. Therefore, it was announced that Yugura was imprisoned, but in fact it resulted in the position of Minister Anbu. In addition, Yugura felt guilty towards the village and wanted to make meritorious deeds, so he took over Anbu's position logically. Hearing Terumi Mei's words, Yugura didn't say much and took off the mask, revealing that slightly immature face. That's right, Mizukage-sama. An old man nodded, seeming to agree with Yugura's opinion. Advertisement, Namikaze Kirito's ambition is definitely not that simple. He wants to unify the ninja world. He will not let go of our village. As things stand now, why don't we directly form an alliance with Rock Shinobi Village, Cloud Shinobi Village, and then the three parties will target Konoha together. Wait a moment. At this time, Ching suddenly spoke, interrupting the two people's opinions. We promised Namikaze Kirito, no matter what purpose Konoha has in the future, we can't stop it. If we miss the appointment, where will we put our village's face? What face, in front of interests? Face has no effect at all, but what he doesn't want to admit is that he is afraid. That's right, he was afraid of Namikaze Kirito. He has white eyes, and he secretly saw Namikaze Kirito a few years ago. What a human structure. The amount of chakra in his body is like a human-shaped tailed beast. This was a few years ago, and now who knows what kind of height the other party has grown to. If they really confront Konoha, their village will face such a terrifying enemy. Don't you see, Rain Shinobi Village has disappeared directly on the map of the ninja world. Wu Ninja Village finally got a respite, and everything is developing in a good direction. If it really joins the war, it's okay to win, but it will be lost if it loses. I didn't say to help Rock Shinobi and Cloud Shinobi. Yagura's tone was very calm, analyzing the current situation. We can even choose to join forces with Konoha. If we help, Namikaze Kirito shouldn't be ashamed to attack our village, right? Hearing this suggestion, Ching's eyes lit up. Mizukage-sama, I think what Yagura-sama said is feasible. Now Konoha, Sanin, Golden Flash, and Ninja Enma are all at the top. The combat power is enough to crush everything. What they currently lack are war resources and ninja troops. If we lend a helping hand at this time, don't even think about it, Rock Shinobi Village and Cloud Shinobi Village will definitely lose. At that time, we will not only be the victorious country, but we can put forward conditions, and even let Namikaze Kirito stop attacking us. It's killing two birds with one stone. As a Mizukage, of course a lot of references are needed, so when his subordinate spoke, Terumi Mei just put his hands on the table and thought, without interrupting at all. After seeing everyone finished speaking, the ruddy lips slowly opened. Advertisement, what you said makes sense. Rock Shinobi and Cloud Shinobi are indeed powerful, and Konoha on the other side is also gathering strong people now. It's impossible for us to stay out of it. I have already received a letter from that guy Onogi. He said that Namikaze Kirito has the ambition to unify the ninja world, and wants us to participate in the war to stop Konoha. More than that, I'm afraid that the Rain Shinobi Village organization remains and joined this battle. Even Cloud Shinobi took out the chakra cannon and used it in this war. Hearing Terumi Mei's plain words, everyone gasped. The chakra cannon of Cloud Shinobi Village is so famous, because it is so powerful that it has not even been used in the previous ninja war. This matter is also known to all ninja villages, because once the chakra cannon is used, I am afraid it can easily wipe out a village. Under such circumstances, on the battlefield, it is impossible to use it at all. If it is really used, it will suffer a lot of casualties. And if this kind of weapon that doesn't talk about martial arts is used, then the hostile village may also directly attack the Cloud Shinobi Village base camp. After all, the stronger your weapon is, the less you can use it in your own village. Wouldn't that directly injure the enemy by 1,000 and self-injury by 10,000? Facing pressure from Namikaze Kirito, Cloud Shinobi Village is already desperate. The wood style that suppresses the troubled times, the shadow it brings to people can be seen as Madara. Then which side are we going to help? Li Dezhou, Qinglu's eyes in front of her were a little dazed. It was obvious that the other three villages started the war, but the result turned out to be that their village was put on the grill, unable to advance or retreat. Everyone knows the method of Namikaze Kirito, the kind that destroys people's villages every now and then. And Cloud Shinobi Village also took out the secret weapon chakra cannon. These are all existences that can destroy their village. Mizukage-sama, Rock Shinobi wants us to join the battle, what about Konoha? Yagura still calmly analyzed the situation, wanting to know what Namikaze Kirito meant. Hearing Yagura's words, Terumi Mei's delicate face showed a hint of inexplicable meaning. That guy doesn't know whether he is reassuring us, or he doesn't care about our choice at all. Since I said last time that I won't pay attention to this matter, he has not sent any news. What a headache. Chapter 99 Obito's Conspiracy. This is a little troublesome, Yagura muttered to himself. In his cognition, a smart person like Namikaze Kirito would never fail to guess what Rock Shinobi and Cloud Shinobi wanted to win over Mist Shinobi. If you know, why didn't you continue to pass on the news to them? After all, no one knows whether they will turn against the water temporarily. But it was Namikaze Kirito who didn't care at all, which caused Yagura's mind to fluctuate violently. Does he not care, or does he really trust Duan Ren Village? Terumi Mei also rubbed her forehead. This matter is really tricky. If you are not careful, you will be doomed. Why don't we just gamble? Bet him Namikaze Kirito can really crush the ninja world. With these words, it is obvious that Terumi Mei intends to put the treasure on Namikaze Kirito, but there is no joy on the faces of the high-level executives. Let them call the shots. This matter is also a dilemma. Who dares to make a decision lightly? If you are not careful, you will become a sinner in the village. Mizukage-sama, are you really going to do this? Can we remain neutral? An old man still did not give up and asked, neutral, ha ha. Terumi Mei sneered. Onoki mentioned the chakra cannon just to remind me that our Mist Ninja Village is surrounded by the sea. If they use the chakra cannon on us, it will have no effect on the entire ninja world. Although Namikaze Kirito on the other side of 427 didn't say anything, everyone knows that he wants to unify the ninja world. Whoever wins this war, we can't escape. These words made everyone give up their hearts. If they could only choose to help one side, Namikaze Kirito was actually their best choice. One is that they have helped them before, and the other is that even though Namikaze Kirito has the intention of fighting for hegemony in the ninja world, they were frightened by the beating and did not think of resisting at all. The Yagura who was controlled was also the perfect Jinchuriki. In the end, it was not easy to get rid of it. Even the mastermind who controls Yagura is easily manipulated by Namikaze Kirito. Although their mist ninja village has some strength now, it doesn't mean they can defeat Namikaze Kirito. Seeing that everyone was silent, Terumi Mei directly made a decision. Prepare for the trip as soon as possible. I want to lead the mission to Konoha and see that guy in person. What does it mean? Advertisement, yes. In a cave in Rock Shinobi Village, the surrounding area is a wasteland, no one will come here. It is also the best place to hide. In front of Uchiha Obito, stood Kisame, Deidara, Hidan, and others. From the moment Nagato decided to follow Namikaze Kirito, these rebellious guys would not be dominated by the other party. With Uchiha Madara's name, coupled with Kamui's particularity, it is very easy to harvest such a group of men. Sarutobi Asuma also stood in the dark with his head down, thinking about something. After looking at the crowd, he finally set his sights on Asuma, and Uchiha Obito's deep voice sounded. Asuma, how is Luo Tian's reincarnation preparation going? Hearing this, Sarutobi Asuma took a step forward and spoke slowly. Thanks to everyone's help, we have obtained the corpses and flesh of many powerful people, and now they have been completely sealed, and the plan can be launched at any time. That's good. Uchiha Obito nodded in satisfaction, then stood up and looked out of the cave. Everyone, our current plan is to wait for this war to start. Once the war breaks out, we can fish in troubled waters and collect all the tailed beasts in each village, so that we can start Project Tasuki no Mi. The world of peace and fantasy will finally be opened by us. Hearing this, everyone's faces were different, but it was obvious that they all agreed with the plan, otherwise they wouldn't have gathered here. Ghost, I asked you to find Lin. Did you find that person's body? A few years ago, Uchiha Obito saw Nohara Lin died in front of him, and the body was buried, but before hearing that Namikaze Kirito planned to revive Lin, he hurriedly asked Kisame to find. The corpse has already disappeared, Guishong said. The B******************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************** Namikaze Minato with a punch on the mountain wall. But he understands that it is impossible to do it now. Even if they appeared in front of each other, it would definitely be another humiliation. Only when the tailed beasts gather and become the Jinchuriki of 10 tails, can they completely crush each other. The plan is ready to be implemented. Deidara, you continue to follow Tsuchikage's side, and let me know as soon as you have any news. War. HMPH, war can only be started by me, advertisement? These days, the entire ninja world is shrouded by the two sons of war. The Fourth Ninja World War, for the civilians, actually does not want to see it, because war means death. The daimyos of the Land of Earth and the Land of Thunder also protested to the Land of Fire. But apparently, there was no reply at all. Namikaze Minato wants to unify the ninja world, and already belongs to his own Konoha village. How could it be restrained by the daimyo prefecture? The people of Gensokyo have long replaced the names of the Land of Wind, the Land of Fire, and the Land of Field with their own people. No matter what Namikaze Minato wants to do, they will obey. Cloud Shinobi Village has dispatched troops, this time led by Samuel, and Eight Tails Jinchuriki Killer B also followed. The general has already brought the army to a place very close to Konoha, and it will take half a day to reach Konoha. At the same time, Rock Shinobi Village also launched an attack, and a large number of Rock Shinobi gathered in the former Land of Rain. Both sides did not keep this, and took out all their family assets. They absolutely do not allow a person with the ambition to unify the ninja world to win this war. Jinchuriki from Rock Shinobi Village was also sent to the battlefield at the same time. Konoha here. Orochimaru and Jiraiya led a group of ninjas to the Land of Rain, and Tsunade was responsible for treating the wounded in the rear. On the other side, Cloud Shinobi Village sent Uchiha Fugaku to lead Uchiha Itachi in a group of Uchiha clans. Uchiha Fugaku with Mangekyo Sharingan is the best against Jinchuriki. Namikaze Minato stayed in Konoha and handed over the command to his father. He was considering which battlefield to visit, but he can't leave yet, and Terumi Mei will arrive at Konoha in these 2 days. Asked to see Namikaze Minato by name, he cannot leave the village at the moment unless the war is serious. The country of rain. This place has become a ruin, and Rock Shinobi's troops have marched here. Everyone has serious expressions on their faces. This time the team is led by Lao Zi and Wooden Golem. Both of them are Jinchuriki from Rock Shinobi Village. After all, they are next to Sand Shinobi Village. If Sand Shinobi Village attacks them temporarily, plus people like Konoha, without a strong person in charge, they may suffer heavy losses. Chapter 100. The battle begins soon. The troops brought by Orochimaru and Jiraiya face the troops of Rock Shinobi Village. The sky of Rain Shinobi Village is still falling with light rain. But many ninjas let the rain pour on their bodies. There was not a single sound in the entire battlefield, and the chilling atmosphere was depressing. Looking at the current Rain Shinobi Village, the potholes left in the middle are still eye-catching, plus the surrounding wreckage. It is not difficult to imagine what kind of battle has been experienced before. This also cast a shadow over the hearts of the Rock Shinobi Village ninjas. You must know that the two people who caused this scene are both members of Konoha. If they also come to participate in this battle, I don't know what the result will be. The war has not yet started, and morale has dropped a little. The conductors of Rock Shinobi and Konoha also faced each other across the air. Orochimaru, long time no see, you rebellious ninja, you have the face to return to Konoha, it's ridiculous. Lao Zi didn't show mercy at all, and just laughed at him as soon as he came up. Of course, his ridicule doesn't matter to a person like Orochimaru. I saw Orochimaru walking out of the team slowly, with a pervasive smile on his cold face. I didn't expect Onoki to be willing to send both of you Jinchuriki out. It seems that there is really no one available in Rock Shinobi Village. It was an agreement a long time ago that tailed beasts would not go on the battlefield. After all, tailed beasts are strategic weapons. Just like nuclear bombs, and every village has them. Once the tail beast enters the field, the casualties caused to ordinary ninjas will be of magnitude. Orochimaru also used this sentence to mock the other party. Lao Zi wasn't angry either, and spoke uprightly. You Konoha want to unify the ninja world and take the initiative to launch a war. Under such circumstances, of course we will use all our strength. Don't call us mean. Orochimaru licked his tongue and shook his head. I never think you were mean, or rather, I appreciate the fact that you sent Jinchuriki. After all, I can capture the two-tailed beasts back. The leader should be very happy. Seeing that Orochimaru was so arrogant, Lao Zi didn't talk nonsense, and directly used gestures to get the troops ready for battle. Orochimaru also returned to his camp. The troops on both sides glared at each other at the same time. Shang Tian. Superior. Kill them all. With 2 orders. Countless ninjas on both sides rushed towards the opponent's position with the sound of shouting and killing. Earth style. Tien long gun. Earth style. Crack the earth and turn your palm. Advertisement. Lightning style. Go ground. Water style. Water tooth bomb. A large number of ninjutsu appeared overwhelmingly on the battlefield. The number of fire style ninjas is very small, because of the weather in Rain Shinobi Village. If you use fire style, it will be greatly reduced, which is why the Uchiha clan who are good at fire style are sent to the other side. In addition to ninjutsu, a large number of ninjas are also fighting in close combat with ninja tools. War is a meat grinder. Every minute and every second, countless people die. The fighting situation became more and more intense. On Rock Shinobi's side, after Wooden Golem said a few words to Lao Zi, a blue tail appeared behind him, and then quickly came to the battlefield. Fire Rat Jade. A rat-shaped blue flame spit out from the mouth of Wooden Golem, split in midair and turned into countless flames that shot out in all directions. Pierced several Konoha shinobi in front of her. The ninja who was hit by the blue flame, not long after, a large amount of blue flame ignited on his body, and then turned into fly ash. But this scene not only did not frighten the Konoha shinobi, but a large number of Konoha shinobi besieged them. On the battlefield, either you die or I forget. If you are afraid of death, the first one to die is yourself. What's more, now that his eyes are red, how can he control how strong the opponent is? Seeing the Konoha shinobi who surrounded him, Wooden Golem's face turned cold, and several sharp blades suddenly appeared on his hands and feet. Human cat claw. Then he rushed towards Konoha's ninja. At this time, Wooden Golem was like a cat in the real sense, with a sensitive posture and sharp claws on both hands and feet. As soon as he got close to her, several bloodstains would appear on his body immediately. Even if you use a ninja tool to block it, you can't escape the end of the ninja tool breaking. On Konoha's side, seeing a Jinchuriki end, Jiraiya can't sit still anymore. Get off the high platform. He rushed towards the direction of Wooden Golem while making seals with both hands. Fire Rat Jade. Just as the Wooden Golem spat out another mouthful of blue flames, Jiraiya had already arrived and stood in front of Konoha shinobi directly. Earth style. Tianlubi. Boom. An earthen wall rose from the ground, directly blocking the blue flames, and then Jiraiya made a mudra with both hands again. Asking for flowers. Advertisement, lion hair technique. Whoosh. Jiraiya's white hair elongated rapidly, looking like a lion's fur from a distance, and then each strand of hair was like a spear, galloping forward. Wherever they passed by, they were all torn apart. But in the face of these blade-like long hair, Wooden Golem is not in a panic, and with a sensitive figure, he dodges at will. Jiraiya also came here at this time. The blue Rasengan appeared directly on his hands, stamped directly on the body by Wooden Golem. Boom. The Wooden Golem spun backwards and flew out, knocking down countless ninjas. It doesn't feel right. Jiraiya was not happy about knocking the opponent into the air, and looked forward tightly. The touch of his hand just now was definitely not a human body. 0. Sure enough, the smoke dissipated, and Wooden Golem stood up. His chest was covered by a piece of dark blue. Tail Beast Chakra. Before Jiraiya's Rasengan hit her, the Tail Beast's chakra covered her entire body. It didn't do her any harm at all. Jiraiya, one of the Sannin, let me try the gold content of your title. Half-tail beastization. With the surge of chakra, the Wooden Golem has turned into a squatting beast, with 2 tails growing from behind, and the whole body, including the tail, is covered in blood red. At the same time, Jiraiya summoned 2 toad sages, Fukasaku and Shima, and turned on sage mode. The nose is full of pimples, and there is a fairy face on the face, and the whole person exudes a powerful aura. Jiraiya's sage mode is not perfect, so it can only be displayed by relying on the 2 toad sages of Mount Myoboku. But its power cannot be underestimated. Half-tailed by Wooden Golem, the speed is not Japanese as before. It was almost invisible to the naked eye, and the ninja on Konoha's side inexplicably had a few scars with deep bone visible. Others can't see it, but Jiraiya can see it clearly. Crouched down directly. Sage art, hair needle thousands of books. Shish. The hair turned into spikes and sprayed out at an astonishingly fast speed and incomparable precision. A large number of rock shinobi in front died directly, and Wooden Golem, who was still hunting at high speed, retracted his claws. Quickly dodged Zhang. Chapter 101 Orochimaru's Mangekyo. Roar. Even with the agility of a cat, facing Shinbin in Jiraiya Sage mode, he still couldn't dodge it. Although he didn't cause too many injuries, the tingling sensation all over his body made Wooden Golem growl. Then chakra burst out again. She also knows in her heart that facing Jiraiya, one of the Sannin, if it is only half-tailed beast mode, it is not enough to fight at all. The dark blue flame gradually wrapped Wooden Golem's whole body, and the fire became bigger and bigger. Master Wooden Golem is going to use tailed beast, everyone go. Retreat. Retreat. My family knows their own affairs, and as soon as they see Wooden Golem's actions, Rock Shinobi's ninjas know that she will completely transform into a tailed beast. In the battle plan, only Jinchuriki will transform into a tailed beast. One's own ninja must retreat, otherwise, with the size of a tailed beast, if one kicks down casually, it is impossible to distinguish between enemy and enemy ninjas. The Konoha shinobi who saw Rock Shinobi backing down did not pursue, but scattered in all directions. In the face of a big enemy, the only thing to do is to scatter and run away. Once they gather, they will probably be taken over by the opponent. Not long after, a giant cat demon wrapped in dark blue flames appeared in the field, roaring towards Jiraiya in a low voice. Then a fireball began to appear in its mouth, and the fireball became bigger and bigger. Roar. The fireball spurted out, and the intense heat distorted the air a bit. The raging fireball did not frighten Jiraiya, he couldn't dodge, and once he dodged, the Konoha shinobi followers who had no time to escape would suffer. Jiraiya made a mudra with both hands, and the two-toed sages on her shoulders also made a mudra at the same time. Sage art. Gomon. Suddenly a large amount of oil came out of his mouth, and two toad sages, one breathed fire and the other breathed wind. This is a combination of ninjutsu, the blessing of oil and wind, turning fire style into a sea of flames. Boom. The giant fireball collided directly with the sea of flames, and the battlefield directly turned into a huge furnace, with monstrous waves of fire rushing straight into the sky. The dripping rainwater evaporates in an instant. The two fire-style ninjutsu directly offset each other, wisps of sparks filled the air, and the ground was directly scorched and turned pitch black. Roar. Seeing that his fireball disappeared, Urwei rushed over with a roar. Advertisement: the blue flame on its body is also high temperature, itself is a battlefield murderess, with the advantage of its huge size. All life on the road will be trampled into powder by it, coupled with the high temperature on its body. As long as ordinary people get close to it, they will be cooked by high temperature. Of course, the huge size must be suppressed with the same method. Jiraiya smiled slightly, then bit off his thumb and pressed his hand to the ground. Summoning technique. Boom. A white smoke appeared, and then a huge toad appeared in the field, with scars on the eyes and a samurai sword behind it. Proving its identity, Mount Myoboku Toad, Bunta, this is also the longest cooperation partner with Jiraiya. Toad Wentai hadn't understood the situation as soon as he appeared on the stage, but he saw Urwei rushing towards him. Although there was a trace of panic in his heart, his body still stood up uncontrollably, and his huge arms directly hugged Urwei in his arms. There was a hint of barbecue aroma in the air. Toad Bunta's chest was scorched black. This is the horror of the fire that comes with Urwei itself. Hey, Jiraiya, are you going to kill Lousy? Quickly think of a way. Toad Wentai's forehead was dripping with sweat. If he hugged it any longer, he wouldn't need to be beaten. The flame alone could turn him into a roasted toad. Ha ha ha, sorry, Mrs. Wen, wait for me. Jiraiya smiled nervously, then raised her right hand high. A giant yellow Rasengan gradually appeared, and the height of this Rasengan was already several times higher than his whole body, just like a small sun. Sage art. Massive Rasengan. Holding the giant Rasengan, Jiraiya jumped directly from Gama Bunta's head to the opposite side. Massive Rasengan hit Urwei directly on the head, boom. The ground trembled for a while, and Urwei was hit hard, and he retreated directly. Such an attack, even the thick-skinned Three Tails, could hardly resist with his body, let alone it. Feeling dizzy for a while. Swish! How could Toad Bunta let go of this opportunity, and directly reached out and took out the samurai sword behind his back. Damn B*****************, D. It hurts me so much, go to hell, go to hell. The sword that was tens of meters long slashed down directly, and Urwei's chest on the right was directly taken out, and the blue flames scattered and fell. Advertisement Wen Tai continued to chase after him with a knife, and Jiraiya once again condensed a massive Rasengan. Kill you while you are sick. Seeing that Wooden Golem was threatened, Laozi couldn't sit still. Lava-style chakra mode. Laozi's whole body was wrapped in high-temperature lava, and he rushed towards Jiraiya directly. As for Jiraiya, as if he didn't see it, the massive Rasengan in his hand was still thrown towards Urwei's head. Just when Laozi was about to touch Jiraiya, a ghostly figure suddenly appeared in midair. Orochimaru. Laozi's face froze, but his body was still rushing forward. Under lava-style chakra mode, both attack and defense are protected by high-temperature magma, and all abilities are fully enhanced. The most urgent task is to rescue Urwei, and Laozi wants to rush over directly. Old Z, where do you want to go? A strange and evil chakra suddenly appeared on Orochimaru's body, and was immediately noticed by the Four-Tailed Sun Wukong in Lao Zi's body. Back away, Old Z. Swish, Lao Z heard the roar of four tails in his body, and hurriedly fled sideways, but it was still a step too late, with one arm left on the ground. But he is obviously also a ruthless person. He directly used high-temperature magma to scorch his wounds and heal them, and looked at Orochimaru with surprised eyes. At this time, Orochimaru was surrounded by a stream of yellow chakra. The yellow chakra also developed two arms, one of which held a sword in 4.4, and Lao Zi's hand was cut off by that sword. Sharingan. How is that possible? Orochimaru's vertical pupils are long gone, replaced by a pair of blood-red eyes. The three kunai were slowly spinning in his eyes upside down. Is this dark and eerie chakra, the Uchiha clan? Mangekyo Sharingan? Tailed beasts are very familiar with these eyes. Indra, after Sage of Six Paths, together with Uchiha Madara, the four tails in her body have communicated with Lao Z long ago. Mangekyo Sharingan is the bane of tailed beasts. In addition, the Susanoo owned by the Mangekyo Sharingan recorded in the history of the Jonin world is comparable to the destructive power of the tailed beast. How could Orochimaru have it? How could it be? You Konoha's Uchiha clan, do you know about this? Lao Z mocked with a sneer. Chapter 102, The Emergence of Akatsuki Organization. Boom. On this side, Erwei also fell heavily on the ground. Her huge body gradually disappeared from the wooden golem's tailed beast. At this time, she was in tatters, with blood on the corners of her mouth, and her eyes were closed. Consciousness. Jiraiya looked at Orochimaru with a complicated expression. Of course he was familiar with the power of Sharingan, but he didn't expect his old friend to have such a whole card. I am afraid that among the Sannin, the opponent is already the strongest. This made him sigh. Once upon a time, Orochimaru was Konoha's rebellious ninja. Now that he is a computer, Orochimaru has once again become Konoha's hero, and Sarutobi Hiruzen is his respected teacher. Not to mention the Hokage headrock, even the grave has been dug. Orochimaru, when did you have the Sharingan? Looking at Jiraiya's puzzled gaze, Orochimaru smiled slightly and spoke hoarsely. Jiraiya, if you want these eyes, go to the leader, he will satisfy you. The Uchiha clan. Don't worry, Fugaku and the others know about this. During the conversation between the two, several rock shinobi also appeared by Wooden Golem's side and brought the unconscious Wooden Golem back. Such actions were not stopped by the two. The experienced Lao Z found something wrong with 21. Logically speaking, now that he has lost an arm, and Wooden Golem is already in a coma, why the two people in front of him are still not making trouble for them? As long as the two Sannins pay a little price, they can win. But in the face of Rock Shinobi Village's actions, the other party did not block it at all. This made Lao Z smell a hint of conspiracy. Sure enough, just after Wooden Golem returned to the Rock Shinobi Village team, several Rock Shinobi suddenly killed the surrounding companions, and Wooden Golem carried them behind. What do you want to do? When Lao Z saw this scene, his murderous aura surged to the sky. It is taboo to attack his companions in any ninja village. Ha ha ha, old guy, I got your blood just now. Several Rock Shinobi directly took off their disguises, and they were members of the Akatsuki organization, Hidan, Kakuzu, the two undead duo, and Akisame. The three of them obviously came for Jinchuriki. How could they let Lao Z go? A group of Rock Shinobi had no idea what was going on and wanted to make a move, but Wooden Golem was in their hands. You bastards, didn't you agree to help us win? Ha ha ha, what a naive guy. You, Onoki, just trust Deidara. Advertisement. Hidan walked over swaggeringly and looked directly at Lao Z. There is only one reason for us to cooperate with you, and that is to want the tail beast in your body. Damn guy. Lao Z once again had billowing lava all over his body. Obviously to fight the opponent. On the other side, Kisame and Angle walked in front of Orochimaru and Jiraiya. Sannin, these two are really scary guys, what should we do? Both of their heads are worth a lot in the underground gold exchange. However, fighting them will be very troublesome. If we are not careful, we will not be able to leave. Then hold off until Hidan resolves it. Orochimaru watched the conversation between the two with interest, but Jiraiya planned to make a move. Although Rock Shinobi Village is the enemy, he doesn't want to let the evil Akatsuki do whatever it takes. Just when Jiraiya was about to act, he was stopped by the big snake. What are you doing, Orochimaru? Jiraiya looked at Orochimaru, who seemed very displeased with Orochimaru's behavior. Don't be impulsive, Jiraiya. The Akatsuki organization will appear, the leader has already known. I still have a hidden mission, which is to watch them take away Jinchuriki from Rock Shinobi Village. What does it mean? With your IQ, even if I tell you, you won't understand, just be obedient. Orochimaru. Although he was cursing, Jiraiya cancelled Sage Mode and sat on the ground to express his dissatisfaction. Today's Konoha is under the overall command of Namikaze Kirito, and he can only obey all the orders of the war. Seeing Jiraiya and Orochimaru not moving, Kisami's eyes are full of doubts. Orochimaru, aren't you going to make a move? Guixie, as a former companion, it would be too ruthless for me to attack you. You have your own goals, go do it, and leave us alone. Hearing Orochimaru's laughter from an angle, there was a hint of killing intent in his eyes. Orochimaru, you are such a nasty fellow, it's an honor to hear you say that. As soon as Lao Z was about to rush out, he realized something was wrong. Although he didn't know what the circle Hidan drew under his feet was for, his intuition told him not to force it. Advertisement, ha ha ha. What, is the old guy scared? Hidan laughed arrogantly, and then took out a black pointed stick from his arms. Then he raised the black stick high, and Lao Zi also made a defensive gesture. But the subsequent action made Lao Zi stunned in place, and Hidan actually inserted the black stick into his thigh. Pooh! Blood flew everywhere. At first he didn't understand why the other party wanted to hurt him, but Lao Zi only felt a pain in his leg, and then blood gushed out. What? Let me tell you, I have already got your blood, that is to say, you are my prey. Hidan put the black stick near his mouth, licked it lightly, with a playful face. Damn guy. 247 inches lava style, burning river rock technique. Lao Zi endured the leg injury, spit out many magma balls from his mouth, and attacked Hidan. But Hidan didn't have the slightest intention of dodging, and let those magma balls hit him. It's hot, Hidan screamed exaggeratedly, his body was burned by magma, and the same was true for Lao Zi, with a large area of burns. Look at Hidan's whole body has turned into black and white at this time. You have been cursed by me, come on, experience the greatest pain with me? Hidan's madness shocked Lao Zi even more. Now he is burned by his lava style, coupled with arm and leg injuries, it is impossible to use all his strength. What's more, the opponent's strange ninjutsu, no matter what kind of ninjutsu is used, I am afraid that he will be the one who gets hurt in the end. How to fight this? Of course Jiraiya is also watching the battle here, seeing Lao Zi's miserable state, staring at Hidan with miraculous eyes. He has never seen this kind of strange ninjutsu. If you want to fight against it in the future, you must correct your observed weaknesses. UB******************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************** staggering, and then rushed over. It's useless, don't you understand? Ignoring Hidan's roar, Lao Zi rushed halfway and directly changed direction, rushing towards Angle and Gui Shark's back. Chapter 103. The Fall of the Two Jinchuriki, okay? Kisame and Kakuzu suddenly turned their heads. It turned out that Lao Zi's goal was not to attack Hidan, but to save Wooden Golem. Seeing that he was about to approach Wooden Golem, Lao Zi stretched out a hand. At least the Wooden Golem survives, pooh. Lao Zi's outstretched hand stopped in midair, and when he turned around, he saw Hidan inserting the bloody sickle into his body. But, damn it, with a trace of fear, Four Tails Jinchuriki Lao Zi directly fell to the ground. Ha 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 ha, Lord Cthulhu will be very happy to dedicate you to you. Hidan pulled out the scythe, laughing loudly. Rock Shinobi saw that the dragons were leaderless, and immediately dispersed. After all, the two Jinchuriki were also captured by the opponent, and there was Konoha's army on the opposite side. If they stayed here, they might not be able to leave. What a terrifying ability. Hidan, if you allow me in the future, please let me study your body. As a scientist, what I like most is this kind of weird stuff. Hidan's immortal body, and the shouting evil god, do they really exist? It takes some proof to be sure. Kisame walked over, grabbed Lao Zi with one hand, and Wooden Golem with the other, and looked back at the angle. Let's go, it seems that Konoha didn't mean to stop us, let's go back and do business. Another 30 minutes. As he spoke, Kakuzu pointed to Hidan who was still laughing arrogantly, his tone full of disgust. In order to complete some evil god's ritual, that B************** D needs to stand in the circle and wait for 30 minutes. Hey, Kakuzu, who do you call an A******* hole? Be careful, I curse you. Shut up, B******* D. Seeing that the battle came to an end, Orochimaru patted Jiraiya on the shoulder, indicating that the other party had completed the task, and then looked at the three members of Akatsuki. Everyone, we will meet again one day. At that time, I hope to let me study your bodies carefully, goodbye. Then he left the battlefield with Konoha and the ninjas. Kisame watched Konoha's departure steadily, feeling full of uneasiness in his heart. Now that Nagato has joined Konoha, why didn't he appear on the battlefield? And Nagato also knows all about the plan to capture the tailed beast. Not stop them. Advertisement, no matter how you think about it, this is too suspicious, but after thinking about it, it is also very serious. Wouldn't it be better if no one blocked the completion of the task? Near Tanokuni, here is a forest, and the troops of Cloud Shinobi village have already marched here. The Uchiha clan also arrived here under the leadership of Uchiha Fugaku. At this time, Tensei Uchiha Fugaku and Uchiha Itachi, father and son, are talking. Itachi, just now came the information that Rock Shinobi's plan has been successful. The shame of the Uchiha Obito clan has not escaped the calculation of the leader. That's right, our side has to speed up, otherwise the credit will be taken away by Lord Orochimaru and the others. Uchiha Itachi nodded solemnly. Report to the Patriarch. The troops on Cloud Shinobi's side have already started to move, and they will arrive at our station soon. Hearing what the spies said, the father and son stood up. Everyone get ready for battle. Yes, for Cloud Shinobi, Samui and Killer Bee are leading the team, as well as Han from the Land of Earth. This time between Cloud Shinobi Village and Rock Shinobi Village, two important Jinchuriki will exchange troops with each other. It is to ensure a close relationship, otherwise one side will make peace with Konoha, and the other side will fall into a passive position. So by Wooden Golem and Han, the two Jinchuriki appeared directly in different camps from each other. Alliance still requires sincerity. Samui, there is news from the village that Wooden Golem and Lao Zi have failed. and the Akatsuki organization appeared to arrest them. It seems that Deidara betrayed us. Five Tails Jinchuriki, Han said with a hint of shame. Deidara accepted the betrayal in his own village, but who knew that the other party betrayed him for the second time and framed Lao Zi. When Sammy heard the news, he frowned, but he regained his composure not long after. Master Han, you and Master Killer B are important combat forces. This time we must not only be careful of Konoha, but also be careful of the sneak attack of the Shao organization. Once the situation changes, please take Master Killer B to leave, otherwise he won't leave. I can't promise this, Han said solemnly. Our two villages form an alliance to declare war on Konoha. If both sides are defeated, my life is worthless. Master Han, you have to understand that you are not only an important person in your rock shinobi village, you also have a tailed beast in your body. This is a strategic weapon that the two villages must not discard. Advertisement Samuel spoke seriously to persuade. Otherwise, even if the war is agreed, we will still lose. But, report to Commander, the Uchiha clan of Sleepy Leaf has appeared. Just when Han was about to say something, the spy's voice interrupted his words. Hearing what the spies said, Samuel took the short sword in his hand and walked out directly. All staff are ready to fight, in the woods. The troops of Cloud Shinobi Village could vaguely see the scarlet eyes in the shadows ahead. The emblem of the Uchiha clan. There is a saying in the ninja world, when you meet the Uchiha clan, avoid one-on-one. After all, you will fall into the illusion of Sharingan if you are not careful. This is even more so on the battlefield, where one falls into the illusion and faces death. At this moment, a shout suddenly came from the woods ahead. Fire style. Great fireball technique. Countless scorching flames appeared, followed by a big fire. They want to set fire to the forest. All ninjas, get ready water style. Facing Uchiha's surprise attack, Samui of Cloud Shinobi Village reacted immediately and commanded the team to start a counterattack. Water style. Waterfall technique. There are a large number of Cloud Shinobi, spitting out waterfalls directly from their mouths, blocking the monstrous fire, but because there are trees around, ninjas are still injured. Damn Uchiha. The woods were burned, and the Uchiha clan completely appeared in the eyes of everyone. In front of many Uchiha Fugaku and Uchiha Itachi are watching Cloud Shinobi's troops indifferently. Yo-yo, are these guys Uchiha? Idiot. B****************** D. Eight Tails Jinchuriki Killer B watched his companions get hurt. Even though he still looked unruly, he could still hear the heat in his tone. Just like intelligence, the two Jinchuriki, Itachi, in order to resolve the battle as soon as possible, it seems that our father and son will fight side by side. Uchiha Fugaku smiled and showed no fear of the opponent's Jinchuriki. Joining Namikaze Kirito's subordinates has this advantage, that is, he can find ways to make up for the shortcomings of Blood's successor limit. Plus Orochimaru with forbidden technique, it's hard not to make progress. Today's Fugaku and Itachi are definitely not comparable in the original book. Chapter 104. The battle with Rain Shinobi Village. Uchiha Itachi heard his father's words and nodded. In a war, if one side lacks high-end combat power, it will inevitably lose, and Namikaze Kirito does not want to kill too many hostile ninjas. This is not his holy mother, but because he has regarded the entire ninja world as his own. Killing one's own people, what's there to be happy about? Amid the shouts of ninjas from both sides, they rushed towards each other's positions. The Uchiha clan is not dominant in number, but it has the characteristic that it cannot be one-on-one. If you want to fight a Uchiha person, you need at least 2 or 3 people. For a while, the battlefield is evenly matched. And Eight Tails Jinchuriki Killer B saw the atmosphere of the battlefield, couldn't help the restlessness in his heart, and rushed out first. Seeing the other party doing this, Han also followed closely. The two Jinchuriki also have a support for each other on the battlefield. Sammy was looking around with a team of elite ninjas. Not only the ambushes who are afraid of Konoha, but the most important thing is the Akatsuki organization in the intelligence. You know, the Akatsuki organization came here after the tail beasts, and Konoha didn't have any scruples. Their 9 Tails Jinchuriki was still in the village. But my side can't do it. The two Jinchuriki will inevitably be attacked by surprise on this battlefield. Killer B's body is wrapped with a red chakra, and he has 7 knives all over his body. Even without any ninjutsu, he is still a big killer on the battlefield. What's more, ordinary illusions have no effect on Jinchuriki. This also caused the ordinary people of the Uchiha clan to face Killer B with heavy casualties. Han is exuding hot steam all over his body. He doesn't need to look at others at all. As long as he gets close to him, he will be burned by that steam. Uchiha Fugaku and Uchiha Itachi couldn't stand it any longer as the two Jinchuriki were killing each other on the battlefield. He rushed directly to the position of the two of them. Young patriarch of the Uchiha clan, idiot, B*********************************** D, let me finish you. Watching Uchiha Itachi rushing towards him, Killer B didn't panic at all. Sonic Lightning Style Knife. Lightning appeared on the 7-handled knife on Killer B. This is the chakra that injects lightning attributes into the ninja. It uses lightning style to cause high-frequency vibrations, so that it uses a penetrating power beyond wind style. As long as it is scratched by this knife, the enemy will be paralyzed and unable to move. Killer B with the 7-handled sword spun directly thinking of Uchiha Itachi's attack. Like a thorny spinning top, but such physical skills have long been seen through by Sharingan. Uchiha Itachi kept dodging, Physical art is not his field of expertise, although ordinary illusion is ineffective, not CBBI, 2. Mangekyo Sharingan immediately began to ooze blood. Advertisement, Amaterasu. A black flame suddenly appeared in front of Uchiha Itachi, Amaterasu, which can burn everything, and Mangekyo Sharingan's pupil technique, which can even burn the flame. Feeling the strangeness of the black flame, Killer Bee backed away abruptly. But his speed is not as fast as his eyes. Amaterasu is burned wherever his eyes go. Seeing that he couldn't dodge in time, several tentacles suddenly appeared behind Killer Bee, blocking in front of him. The burning sensation for a moment almost made him cry out in pain. Water style. Waterfall technique. A huge amount of water spit out from Killer Bee's mouth, trying to use water style to extinguish the black flames. But it's of no use. The water not only failed to extinguish the flame, but made the flame burn even bigger. Seeing this situation, Killer Bee took the knife without hesitation and cut off his own tentacles. The octopus claws that fell to the ground were still writhing, and were completely swallowed by the black flames in a short time. Fool. B********************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************* pointed at Uchiha Itachi with an angry expression. Docking your tail to survive? Jinchuriki is really troublesome. Uchiha Itachi shook his head and made a mudra with his hands. Fire style. Fire dragon technique. Call, a giant dragon roars and charges towards Killer Bee. Boom. The moment the fire dragon hit Killer Bee, Uchiha Itachi didn't breathe a sigh of relief, but looked around with Sharingan. Body replacement technique. Under Sharingan's visitation, the other party's use of body replacement technique could not be hidden from him at all. Where? Back. Uchiha Itachi, who reacted, turned his head quickly, but it was too late. Killer Bee had already appeared behind him, his arms stretched out, and he swung towards his neck. Thunderplow hot knife. Swish. The head was cut off directly and flew into the air. Han, who was fighting Uchiha Fugaku, sneered, advertisement. Your son is dead, don't you go and see? But unexpectedly, Uchiha Fugaku didn't show angry or sad expression, but a smile. Itachi is my proud son, and he cannot be defeated by your level. Hearing this, Han hurriedly turned around and shouted. Killer Bee beware. Distraction in combat is a big deal. Uchiha Fugaku seized this opportunity and directly bullied him. The arm formed by Susan appeared on his body, and the three fingers with big eyes pierced Han directly. And Han's shout made Killer Bee look back. It doesn't matter what the look, seeing a pair of scarlet Sharingan. Tsukuyomi. Even ordinary illusions are ineffective against Jinchuriki, but Tsukuyomi, the strongest illusion, coupled with the blessing of Senju Hashirama's cells. Killer Bee was directly drawn into the illusion space. In the next 72 hours, feel the pain. A second later in reality, Killer Bee sat slumped on the ground with cold sweat all over his forehead. On the other side, Han, who was pierced by Uchiha Fugaku, clutched his chest and kept coughing up blood. B********************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************** covered the whole body. Han's body gradually began to grow larger, and the red armor disappeared. In its place was a patch of white. Not long after, 5 tails as tall as a hill appeared on the battlefield. Completely tailed. If it doesn't turn into a tailed beast again, I'm afraid it will lose too much blood, and it may not die, but it will definitely lose its fighting ability. This sudden tail beast transformation was too late for one's own personnel to retreat, and the huge size crushed a piece of ninja regardless of enemy or friend. The matter was urgent, and it was too late to blame Han, so Sammy directly gave the order to retreat. And the appearance of 5 tails also made 8 tails keep calling Killer Bee's consciousness in his body. Just when Uchiha Itachi was about to seal Killer Bee, several octopus claws suddenly appeared and repelled him. Killer Bee also started his own full-tail beastization. Huge octopus, even bigger than 5 tails. Among the 9-tailed beasts, apart from 9 tails, 8 tails is the strongest. After all, the amount and strength of the tailed beast's chakra is based on the tail. 2 hill-like enemies appear on the battlefield. There was no confusion among Uchiha's people, as discussed earlier. Chapter 105 Susanoo vs. Tailed Beast. Seeing the retreat of the Cloud Shinobi troops, the Uchiha clan also retreated from the battlefield in an orderly manner, leaving only the Patriarch and the young Patriarch to face the 2 furious tailed beasts. B********************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************* me like this. Although the tailed beast has turned into a beast, Killer Bee still controls his consciousness. When he thinks about the 72 hours of torture just now, his whole body aches. Even in the world of illusion, the pain is very clear. He didn't want to endure that feeling again. Killer Bee, let's end the battle quickly, otherwise, the consumption will be too much, and I'm afraid it will be taken advantage of by others. Han wants a quick fight, and after this end, he wants to hurry back to Rock Shinobi Village, but his companion, Wooden Golem, was captured. I don't know what's going on in the village now. Hearing Han's words, Killer Bee nodded, and then looked at the two villains in front of him. My lord will end the battle in no time. The mouths of the two giant-tailed beasts began to gather strength. Tailed Beast Bomb. Seeing this, Uchiha Fugaku quickly turned around and shouted loudly. All clansmen, stay farther away from the retreating ones, don't panic. And he and Uchiha Itachi stood side by side in the same place, blocking in front of the retreating clansmen. Not long after, the two-tailed beast bombs had fully charged, and then galloped out. Boom. The ground trembled, and two-tailed beast bombs could smash a mountain directly, showing its power. The explosion at such a close range caused a wave of air, and the ninjas on both sides who were unable to retreat in time were blown away. After a while, the dust cleared, and the scene that Killer Bee expected did not appear. Two titans actually appeared in front of him, one dark red, not light red. Susanoo. Sharingan's ultimate pupil technique. This is also the confidence of the Uchiha family to fight against the tailed beasts. Even without illusions, you can defeat the tailed beast head-on. Although Uchiha Fugaku and Uchiha Itachi's Susanoo has not yet reached the final stage and has not yet grown legs, the stretched body is completely worthy of the two-star beasts in front of them. Four titans stand facing each other. Killer Bee and Han looked at each other in amazement. Is this the Sharingan of the Uchiha clan? What a terrifying ability. Advertisement. It has long been recorded that the Mangekyo Sharingan of the Uchiha family can fight against tailed beasts. I thought it was an illusion, but it turns out that it has this terrible ability. Han and Killer Bee had never seen Susanoo of the Uchiha clan with their own eyes, so how could they not be shocked when they saw that manpower could reach this level? But surprise doesn't mean fear. The two-tailed beasts rushed towards each other resolutely. Boom boom boom. The two-tailed beasts ran and stepped on the ground, making a rumbling sound. Soon, the four titans confronted each other head-on. Sammy watched the battle from a distance, and sighed in his heart, a battle of this level cannot be fought by manpower at all. Let alone fighting with ordinary ninjas, the aftermath of the battle can kill them. Bang 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 bang. The sound of violent collisions continued, and the battle also reached a fierce stage. Both sides wanted to resolve the battle quickly, and in a short time, all of them used their time. Both tailed beast bombs and other attacks were stopped by Uchiha Itachi's Yata Mirror. With 10-fist sword and Yata Mirror, 8 tails and 5 tails are not dominant. I can't go on like this, that Uchiha kid's defense is too strong. Pushed back again, 5 tails whispered to 8 tails. I'm going to pester him, you're going to get Uchiha Fugaku, hole, idiot. It is good. The two hit it off, before 8 tails wrapped his octopus claws around Uchiha Itachi's Susanoo, while Han ducked his head and rammed Uchiha Fugaku with his horns. Boom. The sharp angle hit Uchiha Fugaku's Susanoo, cracking the light red chakra on it. But still no damage. Killer Bee and Han Guang knew that Uchiha Itachi's Yata Mirror had strong defensive power, but what they didn't know was that Susanoo's own defensive power was amazing enough. Ordinary impacts can't completely destroy Susanoo, who is absolutely defensive. Even if it is cracked, it can continue to increase chakra recovery. This is the benefit of Senju Hashirama cells, which can allow people to have a large amount of chakra, and even with such a high level of use of Susanoo, Sharingan will not appear to lose light. 10-fist sword. Seeing being entangled by 8 tails. The gourd in Susanoo's right hand directly revealed a huge long sword. Asking for flowers. The ability of the 10-fist sword is a seal. As long as it is cut by this sword, it will fall into the world of illusion. Advertisement. It has been useless before, but I am afraid of affecting the plan. But now, under the perception of Sharingan, several uninvited guests have arrived. If the opponent wants to capture Jinchuriki, he will never let Uchiha Itachi seal it with the 10-fist sword. Otherwise, the tail beast will not be caught. Sure enough, the moment the huge 10-fist sword fell, 8 tails' huge body was wrapped around Uchiha Itachi's body, and it was too late to escape. I can only watch the 10-fist sword fall. Clang. There was a clang of metal. 3 figures appeared not far away. Deidara, Red Sand Scorpion, and Uchiha Obito. Oh. What blocked the 10-fist sword's attack was a burst of black iron sand, and the Red Sand Scorpion directly used the third case cage, which was made into a puppet, to block the 10-fist sword. They are not stupid if it is really manpower to block. Needless to say, whoever blocks will be sealed by the 10-fist sword. The strength of the artifact is not covered, and a puppet without soul and body is much simpler, and there is no need to worry about being sealed. Seeing the 3 people appearing, Uchiha Itachi's mouth curled into a smile. Sure enough, it did not meet the expectations of the leader. Akatsuki appeared. Itachi-kun, long time no see. Uchiha Obito greeted Uchiha Itachi as an old acquaintance, and then the Scorpion of Susha rode Deidara to bully him. During the distraction of 8 tails and 5 tails, seal it straight away. This can make Sammy in the distance burst into tears. He hurriedly led people towards the battlefield, just now because he was afraid of being affected. The distance he retreated gave the enemy an opportunity to take advantage of. Seeing that 8 tails and 5 tails were sealed one after another, Uchiha Fugaku and Uchiha Itachi also dispersed Susanoo. Itachi-kun, you have also opened Mangekyo Sharingan, don't you see the text written on the underground stone tablet? Once the Infinite Tsukuyomi project is opened, we will really open the new world. Uchiha Obito still wants to pull the other 2 into the group now, and said. Pathetic puppet. Uchiha Itachi looked at Uchiha Obito indifferently. You don't deserve the title of Uchiha, puppet, hurry up and finish your work and leave. Chapter 106. Terumi Mei visits. Hearing Uchiha Itachi say this about himself, even if he was as tolerant as him, he couldn't stand it and counterattacked. Isn't the pathetic puppet the Uchiha clan? Under that man's rule, even if Sarutobi hears and dies, the Uchiha clan will not be Hokage. Only by opening Infinite Tsukuyomi can you have your own world. Uchiha Itachi didn't say much, just ignored the other party, and after a few words with his father, the 2 turned and left. Looking at the backs of Uchiha father and son, Uchiha Obito sneered. After all, only he can understand the reality of this world. The battle of the three ninja villages also shocked the entire ninja world. Although Rock Shinobi Village and Cloud Shinobi Village have not been completely defeated yet, the loss of Jinchuriki has directly put the two ninja villages in a bad position. After all, Konoha's high-end combat, Oedo, force is fine. Rock Shinobi Village and Cloud Shinobi Village suffered huge losses. Raikage and Tsuchikage, who heard the news, were immediately furious, and sent countless ninjas to search for the trace of the Akatsuki organization. And Cloud Shinobi Village has brought the chakra cannon to the battlefield in order to win the war. Konoha. Today's Konoha is particularly lively, all because of the news that the Mist Ninja mission is coming. A visit to a village, no matter what the reason, must be received, not to mention Mizukage leading the team. In Hokage's office, Terumi Mei in a blue dress is talking with Namikaze Minato. Judging from the expressions of the two, it was obvious that they had a pleasant chat. Fifth Mizukage, our cooperation will definitely be very pleasant. Just now, the two villages discussed the alliance, which also made Namikaze Minato very happy. After all, according to Namikaze Kirito, if someone does not cooperate, they should call them. Now, Namikaze Minato doesn't want to cause more murder. The active alliance of Mist Ninja Village will save a lot of trouble. If we don't make an alliance, maybe we will be taken over by that guy. When she said this, Terumi Mei had a trace of resentment on her face. Hearing this, Namikaze Minato also smiled awkwardly. Indeed, before the news from Terumi Mei, Nara Shiju and himself were discussing matters against one in village. Seeing Namikaze Minato's embarrassment, Terumi Mei took the initiative to change the topic. Where is he? He? You mean Kirito? He seems to be leading his own team on a mission. Advertisement. Namikaze Minato scratched his head, then told Terumi Mei where Kirito was, and assigned a ninja to lead the way. Looking at the back of Terumi Mei leaving, Namikaze Minato couldn't help sighing. Together, you can play mahjong, Kushina, our son will have a hard time in the future. Namikaze Kirito is having a good time right now. Take the 3 Sand Shinobi imps and do some easy tasks. It's not so much that he is taking the quest, it's better to say that only Gaara and Kankuro are doing the quest. And he was sitting on the side basking in the sun, holding Tamari in his arms. Gaara and Kankuro found out about the two of them by chance. Now that they found out, Namikaze Kirito didn't mean to hide it at all. More and more above board. But Tamari is thin-skinned, sitting in Namikaze Kirito's arms, not daring to move, his whole body is in a state of rigidity. What are you so nervous about? Namikaze Kirito held Tamari's white and tender hand, and found that the other's palm was covered with sweat, and laughed. Tamari let the other party play with her little hand and kept silent. And Terumi Mei happened to find her at this time. Seeing this scene, the Konoha shinobi who led the way suddenly felt a chill behind him, and seeing Terumi Mei's smiling face, he couldn't help running away. Anyway, this is Konoha, not to mention that Namikaze Kirito is also in front, so I am not afraid of any danger from him. Oh, our ninja Yan really knows how to enjoy it. Seeing someone coming, Tamari immediately jumped out of Namikaze Kirito's arms like a bunny and then disappeared. Namikaze Kirito glanced at Terumi Mei slightly complaining. Mizukage-sama has nothing to do, so he came to our village to disturb me, it's too much. How dare you say that? Terumi Mei walked up to Namikaze Kirito, the eyes are full of anger. You did that to me and you're still molesting little girls here. What kind of thing? Don't talk nonsense, Namikaze Kirito said in a shocked voice. You be **************************************************** D. As a man, shouldn't you be responsible? After speaking, Terumi Mei ignored Namikaze Kirito and sat on him directly. I said, Master Mizukage, what are you doing? Although Namikaze Kirito enjoyed the softness, he still asked. Don't you like to hug? Hug me, am I not much better than that little girl? Advertisement. There was a hint of teasing in Terumi Mei's tone, but she could easily detect the trembling. Obviously also in a shy state, but she made such a move out of anger. Really? Namikaze Kirito suddenly put his head close to those delicate ears and blew lightly. This made Terumi Mei shudder and stood up directly. What are you doing? Ha 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 ha. Namikaze Kirito stood up and laughed heartily. Tell me, what do you want from me? Terumi Mei looked at the man in front of her with complicated eyes. If she had a good impression, she must have had, and the man had had intimate contact with her. But I can't always see through this person, what is he thinking? So, he asked tentatively, what will you do to Mist Ninja Village? Before coming here, you should ask my father to propose an alliance. Namikaze Kirito's eyes were bright, obviously guessing the other party's intention. Terumi Mei is a smart woman, after knowing the news on the battlefield, she will definitely come to Konoha to ask for an alliance. Sure enough, just a few days ago, they have already arrived at Konoha. 3.9 is not a question between villages, what I want to ask is you, what will you do to Mist Ninja Village? Terumi Mei shook her head with firmness in her tone. Oh, Namikaze Kirito glanced at Terumi Mei, it seemed that this woman was smarter than he thought. That's right, as Mizukage, in just a few years, the entire Mist Ninja Village has undergone a major change, both in terms of means and heart. If it cannot be unified, it must be eliminated. Terumi Mei's beautiful eyes are always placed on Namikaze Kirito's eyes. She knew that the other party did not lie to her. The man in front of him really wants to dominate the ninja world. If you don't follow his footsteps, he also has the strength to wipe out the opponent directly. Seeing that Terumi Mei has not spoken for a long time, Namikaze Kirito is also very curious about her answer. The way has been given to her, how will this smart woman choose? The sudden appearance of the 107th Boruto biography. Not long after, Terumi Mei's beautiful eyes suddenly lit up, and then a charming smile appeared on her face again. I saw her slowly approaching Namikaze Kirito, her crystal clear lips parted slightly. Be my man, if you want, I will let Mist Ninja Village be incorporated under your flag. Namikaze Kirito looked at the beautiful cheek in front of him with a playful expression. This woman said that she merged Mist Ninja Village into his banner, not Konoha. What's more, the condition of the two being together is all for the consideration of Sha-Nin Village. Once one in village becomes Namikaze Kirito's subordinate force, then Terumi Mei is his woman, even if she competes with other forces, who would dare to compete with her. After all, this is their eldest woman. Knowing that the woman in front of him has deep calculations, but Namikaze Kirito doesn't hate it. Smart people will save him a lot of time, not to mention that the woman in front of him is also the ceiling in Hokage's world. No matter how you think about it, he won't suffer. Thinking of this, Namikaze Kirito stretched out a finger to hook the round chin, and then stuck it. After some time 21. Terumi Mei reached out and gently pushed Namikaze Kirito away, sat in his arms and took a few breaths of fresh air, and then there was a hint of complaint in her tone. I said, even if you agree to be my man, you can't just kill me. Ha ha ha, I thought you would use your blood inheritance boundary, but it seems you didn't. Faced with Namikaze Kirito's teasing, Terumi Mei panicked. She had just had such a thought, and then thought of Namikaze's strange ability. That's why I didn't dare to do it, I didn't expect to be noticed by him. He was flustered, but his face was still full of charm. How is it possible? You know, what I hope most is to have a man marry me. How could I do that kind of thing? Really? But you. Just when Namikaze Kirito was about to say something, Observation Haki suddenly noticed a scene, then stood up and looked into the distance. What's wrong? Seeing his expression, Terumi Mei didn't know what happened. It seems that an unexpected guest has come to visit. You go back first. I agree to your terms. Namikaze Kirito didn't answer Terumi Mei's question, and after saying this, the figure disappeared on the spot. Looking at the direction just now, Terumi Mei was thinking about something. Although she didn't know who came here, this strange feeling in her heart made her very uneasy. Advertisement: The Grove outside Konoha Village. A distance battle is taking place here, a young man leading a blonde boy, facing a pale man. The pale man also held a fishhook. Hey, how long will the two little ghosts of Gensokyo still chase after me? Is it really okay to come to this era? The pale-faced man is the Daijinmu clan that Boruto will appear in the future, and the young man and the little boy are Sasuke and Boruto. Namikaze Kirito, who had already been hiding in the dark, watched carefully. Young Sasuke's hands are now there, and two Rinegons are in the eye sockets. The plot of the original book has changed a lot. Also, after all, Namikaze Kirito has turned the entire ninja world upside down, and the Boruto biography that will happen later will definitely change accordingly. Deijan Mokpashi, do you think you can easily get 9 tails by escaping to this era? Stop dreaming. That legendary man is in this era. When he said this, there was a trace of reverence in the eyes of young Sasuke. What? Deijan Mokpashi picked out his ears with a nonchalant look. The legendary man? Who is it? The leader of your Gensokyo? That's right. The youth Sasuke nodded and spoke. So your plan is bound to fail. Stop thinking about running away. Ha 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 ha. Deijan covered his face in the Mokpa style with an arrogant look. That really scares me. Hey, where's the leader you mentioned? The guy who ran away with that traitor Kagaya, in this day and age, if I meet. Absolutely will kill him. Shut up, you scum. The blonde boy Boruto roared loudly. You are not allowed to insult my uncle. You be asterisk 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 D. The son of the demon fox? Is it up to you? Deijan Mokpa directly swung the red fishhook and galloped towards Boruto's head. Shenluo Tianjung. Advertisement: The youth Sasuke directly blocked Boruto, and the ability of the waist Rinnegan was used. The force directly bounced the hook. Seeing this situation, Deijan Mokpashi was not surprised, retracted the hook, and spoke. In this era, you guys in Gensokyo haven't grown up yet. When I catch 9 tails Jinchuriki, you will be completely destroyed by me. Of course, I will go and meet your so-called leader. Let him know that I, the Jianmu clan, are not something he can insult casually. Namikaze Kirito on the side listened to the conversation of several people in surprise. Eat melon and eat yourself. From the conversation, several news can be found. First, I disappeared with Kagaya for unknown reasons. Second, this Deijan Mokpa style is the same as the original work of Boruto. It is all about finding the tailed beast and recovering the sacred tree. Third, Gensokyo looks like 797 will really gain a foothold in the entire ninja world in the future. Even if Namikaze Kirito is not there, there are people who can stop the Daijanmu clan. This also proves that the power he worked so hard to create was not in vain. Then you stay here. Young Sasuke doesn't know what era it is now, and he is really afraid that the other party will go directly to the Konoha village. If the leader of his family is really in his infancy, wouldn't it be easy for the other party to succeed? Blocking the pride of Gensokyo cadres will definitely not allow the opponent's goals to be achieved. Planetary devastation. The youth Sasuke held it with one hand, and countless stones appeared, and then surrounded the Deijan Mokpa style. But Deijan Mokpashiki did not panic. The white eyes of his pupils suddenly began to change shape, and then turned into two blue Rinnegan's? Facing the seal of planetary devastation, just blinking slightly, it will be directly invalid. Little devil, there is an essential gap between you and my Rinnegan. You are too naive to try to use it to win me. After all, the figure of Daejeon Mokpa suddenly disappeared. Then he appeared next to the two of them, holding a fishing rod in his hand and piercing through it. Clang! A mass of purple chakra emerged from the body of young Sasuke. Susanoo. The absolute defense of the Sharingan. Sudden attack, only this pupil technique can resist. Chapter 108 Daejeon Mokpa Style. Rinnegan's pupil spell? Daejeon Mokpa felt the resistance above the fishing rod, and he didn't panic at all, but had a ferocious smile on his face. Boruto, get behind me. The youth Sasuke directly pulled Uzumaki Boruto behind him, and the purple Susanoo on his body stared more and more. From a skeleton to a half-body wrapped in armor, the crossbow in his hand aimed at Daejeon Mokpashi, who was about to continue attacking. Boom! The huge purple arrow shot out directly, accompanied by bursts of sonic booms. But at this moment, a trace of panic suddenly appeared in Sasuke's eyes. Oops! Seeing that the opponent really shot the arrow, Daejeon Mokpashi's eyes lit up, and his smile became even more ferocious. After waiting for a long time, just for this trick, I consumed a lot of chakra before, but I didn't get it replenished. Now I am thirsty, and people send water directly to my door. Then he stretched out his hand and aimed at the arrow that was coming. Ninjutsu absorption. The huge purple arrow was completely absorbed by Daejeon Mokpa's right hand, and after the absorption was complete, there was a satisfied expression on his face. Sure enough, having the same eyes as mine, this power is delicious. Damn B******************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************** silly and the whole person bullies him. Sasuke intends to use taijutsu to win the victory, and has developed the full power of Indra. His body has also been strengthened to a very powerful level. Even taijutsu has no shortcomings at all. Bang bang bang. The two started fisting each other. Every impact caused a sonic boom, which shows that both of them have used their experience. But what made young Sasuke awkward was that the red fishing rod was different from other weapons. Although the rod body could be blocked with a grass pheasant sword, the irregular fishing line and hook became a big problem. In just 10 minutes of fighting, Sasuke had a few more scars on his body. Blood spurted out. However, the Daejeon Mappa style seems to still have room for effort. Ha ha ha. What's the matter? You guy, you chased me to this era, and you only have this kind of strength in the end? Daejeon Mappa fights against young Sasuke, but at the same time, he still doesn't forget to taunt. Advertisement. His purpose is also obvious, that is, to disturb the young Sasuke's mentality. As long as he starts to use ninjutsu once he gets confused, that's a good time for him to supplement. Sasuke, who has a very high combat IQ, obviously won't fall for such a simple trick. I saw that when he swung the grass pheasant sword, the purple light on his body was faintly visible. Swish. It was another sword, straight for Daejeon Mappa's head. Facing this sharp sword, he didn't panic, and with a swing of the fishing rod in his hand, he blocked the attacking grass pheasant sword, sending out a metal impact sound. Then the fishing line drew a circle in midair and fell suddenly. Master, be careful. Boruto shouted loudly, but it was too late. The fishing line drove the hook and scratched the young Sasuke's back, and the blood gushed out again. And the young man Sasuke also let out a muffled snort. Obviously, this injury caused him a lot of pain. To Daejeon Mappa's surprise, the guy in front of him still didn't relax at all, and he could feel the strength of the opponent's sword with the fishing rod in his hand. You really don't give up, but how long can you hold on? I've caught you. Hearing Daejeon Mappa's words, the young man Sasuke raised his mouth and said slowly, You caught me? No, I caught you. What? Daejeon Mappa had a shocked look on his face, but before he understood the meaning, he saw purple light emitting from the left back of the enemy in front of him, and the purple light gradually solidified. A Susanoo's arm appeared behind the youth Sasuke, holding an arrow in his hand. Daejeon Mappa was also in a dilemma. If he gave up the fishing rod, the opponent's sword would cut directly at his neck. If he didn't dodge, how could the purple arrow give him a chance? Still thinking, the purple hand stabbed directly with the arrow. Swish. Not surprisingly, the purple arrow pierced directly into Daejeon Mappa's body, which made Uzumaki Boruto, who was watching the battle, jump up happily. But young Sasuke frowned. Hurrah! Daejeon's Mappa-style body directly transformed into countless red paper cranes flying around. This is one of two unique abilities of his blue Rinnegan. Thousand Paper Crane's body flicker technique. The moment the enemy attacks him, he directly turns into thousand paper cranes flying all over the sky. At this moment, the youth Sasuke suddenly felt the emptiness in his body, and almost sat on the ground. He managed to stabilize his figure and look back. Daejeon Mappa was pulling the fishing rod, and there was a cloud of purple chakra on the hook. Advertisement. It was the chakra in the young Sasuke who was called out by the other party. Ha 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 ha, what a pity, you actually think you can kill me. Holding the purple light cluster in his hand, he quickly absorbed it, and looked at the youth Sasuke mockingly. Now you, what threat is there to me? Do you want to choose to be killed by me here, or? Saying that, Daejeon Mappa stretched out his fishing rod and pointed in the direction of Konoha village. Or do you want to kill the demon fox after I catch it? Which one is better, huh? Seeing Daejeon Mappa style shaking his fishing rod with a nonchalant look, Jinyan Sasuke felt angry from the bottom of his heart. Now in this era, how could he allow the enemy to invade his village? Absolutely not. Thinking of this, Sasuke resisted the feeling of weakness and put on a fighting posture again. But Daejeon Mokupashi didn't look at him, but instead looked at a corner beside him. Who's there? Swish, the fishhook flew out in response and went straight to the shadow of the corner. J. A slight sound was very clear in the ears of the two, and after a while, a man in a black windbreaker walked out slowly. Daejeon Mokupashi and young Sasuke have different expressions when they see someone coming. The former is wondering why Zhao Zhaohao is so close to each other, but the latter is different. I saw young Sasuke's eyes full of admiration, watching the person approaching him slowly. It was Namikaze Minato who came here, and he wanted to see the excitement, but he didn't expect the young Sasuke to be so vulnerable in the hands of Daijin Mokura. It seems that Boruto's facsimile is capable of destroying battles. What about your other abilities of Rinnegan? Where's your perfect body, Susanoo? Where's your illusion? Don't use them all, just plan to use physical skills to solve the opponent, but in the end he was crushed by the opponent. What a headache. Not long after, Namikaze Minato came to the side of young Sasuke. Under the gaze of worshipping eyes, he spoke softly. Sasuke, you brat, your appearance has become much more reliable, but it's just an appearance, hey too. Chapter 109. Favorable ability. Hearing Namikaze Minato's words, young Sasuke was a little ashamed. He knew what his leader meant. It's true, in the future, I should be alone. Why would I be directly forced into this miserable situation by the enemies that appeared? What kind of mood does Sasuke see Namikaze Minato? Daejeon Mokura doesn't want to know. He was about to breathe fire now, and an inexplicable person came from nowhere and just ignored him when he appeared. He didn't even look at him. How could a mere native be so arrogant? Although the Daejeon Mokpa style is different from the Daejeon Wood Peach style, it does not look so arrogant, but it is just a look. Usually, his tone of voice is full of yin and yang, which makes people feel unbearable. Although he is polite, it makes people feel disgusted. Otsutsuki Momoshiki is supercilious, thinking that this planet is just a bunch of thieves, who got a sliver of power from the sacred tree, and there is no possibility of being compared with him. Otsutsuki Momoshiki lost to his arrogance. Although the Daijin Mokpa style is not as good as the Daijin Nuteo style, he still believes that the natives of this planet need to look up to him. As soon as Namikaze Minato appeared, he went directly to the youth Sasuke to talk about the past, but he didn't take him seriously at all. How could this not make him angry? Hey, who are you guys? Namikaze Minato couldn't help being a little funny when he heard Day 393 GN Mokpa's exasperated inquiry. Then he looked at the other party and spoke softly. Didn't you want to find me? I am the leader of Gensokyo. Just now you bullied my subordinates very badly. I will make you return all of them. Uzumaki Boruto on the side was holding back all the time. Hearing the momentum of Namikaze Kirito's words, he couldn't bear it anymore, and ran to Namikaze Kirito's side. Uncle, you are Uncle Kirito. My B**************** D daddy is Uzumaki Naruto, your younger brother. The enthusiasm in Uzumaki Boruto's eyes was not weaker than Sasuke's. He grew up listening to his uncle's legends since he was a child. Now that he has finally seen a real person, how can he bear it? The youth Sasuke wanted to stop Boruto, but he glanced at Namikaze Kirito. With the intelligence of the leader, he should have guessed it long ago. Then he stopped blocking and let Uzumaki Boruto reveal his identity. Lil guy, you look a lot like your father. Advertisement. Namikaze Kirito reached out a hand and placed it lightly on Boruto's head. Uzumaki Boruto, as if he had seen a savior, pointed at Daejeon Mokurashi opposite him, his tone full of anger. Uncle, it's this guy who came to this era after our Konoha wreaked havoc in the future and was finally beaten away, wanting to gain the power of the tailed beast. Ha 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 ha. Seeing the appearance of Uzumaki Boruto, Daejeon Mokpa laughed loudly. Yes, I did it. You're the leader of this group of guys, right? I can feel the terrifying energy in you, use it for me. After that, Daejeon Mokpa style shook the fishhook in his hand, and threw it directly at Namikaze Kirito. Namikaze Kirito has long known the strange ability of the fishhook. Seeing this, he stretched out a finger, and then the finger turned into a jet black metallic color. DJ. The fishhook hit it, and after making a crisp sound, it was bounced back. Strange ability. The failure of the attack did not make Daejeon Mokupashi feel disappointed, but the appearance of armament hockey made his eyes full of interest. This kind of power is something he has never felt before. And Sasuke looked at Namikaze Kirito enviously. This is the leader, armament hockey has been able to manifest at this time. The use of armament hockey in the future, Namikaze Kirito taught his subordinates, but the physique in the pirate world is too strong, and most of the strong in the Hokage world did not exercise their physique effectively. Caused armament hockey's progress to be very slow. Even with a body that has been strengthened, if you use armament hockey suddenly, you will not be able to enter the door in a short time. The young Sasuke next to you can only slightly cover one hand with armament hockey, and there will be no goal, CBBC, his color. Of course, with his talent, it is only a matter of time before he masters this ability in the future. You have a lot of secrets about you. There is a trace of greed in Daejeon Mokpa's eyes. He wants to absorb the strange power of Namikaze Kirito, and then use it for himself, and he is also envious of the other party's massive chakra. This is simply a huge tonic for him. As everyone knows, Namikaze Kirito looked at him with fiery eyes. Wangshen Bilyangsaka, Treasure Plow, Advertisement. This ability allows Namikaze Kirito to find a way back to his previous life. These two techniques, one is to travel through space and the other is to travel through time, if they are well developed. Of course, the precious plow is not an ability, but a prop that only the Daijinmu clan can use. This made Namikaze Kirito very hungry, and the other party's Rinnegan ability, Thousand Paper Cranes Flicker, Time Rewind, are also rare abilities. It seems that after today, I will have a pair of Rinnegan. Daijin Mokbashiki finally noticed Namikaze Kirito's eyes, which were the eyes of a predator. The man in front of him regards himself as food. This discovery directly made him furious. The ninja world was born because of the power of the sacred tree, that is to say, it should be all his food, but now it is unbearable to be treated as food by the food on its own plate. Your name is Namikaze Kirito, right? I used to know your name in Konoha in the future era. You managed to guess me off. Daijin's Mokba-style eyes became dangerous. As a report, I will train you into a pill to nourish my body. Accept this honor, Namikaze Kirito. Ha 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 ha. Namikaze Kirito covered his face and laughed. That's really good, we both think the same thing, come on, try it. Then the two of them were silent, accompanied by the breeze. Boom. The figures of the two suddenly appeared in the center of the field, and their fists and fishing rods collided together. Boom. The airwave directly lifted the ground, which was a leak of power. If Jonin stood beside him, he would have been seriously injured or even died of this kind of leak. It can be seen how terrifying the strength of the two is. Shock escape, shake the world. Namikaze Kirito's right fist was surrounded by a white halo, and he struck out again. The Rinnegan with Daijin Mokur's style could clearly see the power contained in the white halo. Originally, I wanted to stretch out my hand to absorb it, but just as I stretched out my hand, I lost my body in an instant. The moment he wanted to absorb it, a trace of strong anxiety appeared in his heart, and it was this trace of anxiety that made him choose to retreat. Namikaze Kirito swung his fist in the air, but the shock fruit's vibrating power directly caused the space in front of him to crack like glass shattering, making a crackling sound. Chapter 110 Rinnegan vs. Wood Style, This Power. Daijin Mokura looked excitedly at Namikaze Kirito's vibrating power. What did he discover? A new energy. If you have the fruit of the sacred tree, you will get this brand new ability. When I return to the Daijinmu clan, I will really attract everyone's attention, and even becoming a high-level person is not a strange thing. Thinking of this, Daijin Mokbashiki couldn't hide his inner excitement, and looked at Namikaze Kirito enthusiastically. You be ********************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************* help being a little amused. It seems that the purpose of both of them is the same. Want to devour each other. That being the case, let's see who is stronger. Coincidentally, his strength is now at the bottleneck, and he doesn't know who is stronger or weaker in a fight against a strong person like the 6 paths level. Wood style. Wood dragon technique. The opponent has Rinnegan and can also absorb ninjutsu. Although wood style is also ninjutsu, it will not be directly absorbed. Roar. Accompanied by the sound of the dragon chant, a wooden dragon emerged from the ground and flew directly towards Daijin Mokpashi, intending to tear him apart. Seeing this, Daijin Mokpashi's blue Rinnegans gradually turned red, and then stretched out a hand. Call out. A blue sphere appeared in his palm, and then shot out countless blue lights, attacking the wooden dragon like sharp arrows. Boom boom boom. All the terrifying energy was vented on Mulong's body, making an ear-splitting sound, and the wood dragon's body began to gradually drop sawdust, but it can still hold on for now, maintaining a forward posture and taking the Daijin Mokpa pose. An animal without intelligence also wants to be fierce? Daijin Mokpa's eyes turned cold, and the blue light ball in his hand became more violent. Boom boom boom. More blue light beams hit the wooden dragon's body. Facing the impact of so much energy, even wood style couldn't hold it back. The wooden dragon opened its mouth and looked up to the sky, as if roaring. After a while, it turned into pieces of wood and fell down. At this moment, the figure of Namikaze Kirito also appeared from the smoke, and at this moment, he arrived at Daijin Mokpashi's side. I knew you would come. Advertisement. Daijin Mokpashi did not panic at all. No one can escape the visitation of his pair of Rinnegans. Ocean Hirazaka. A black hole suddenly appeared behind him, his whole body melted into it, and then disappeared. Wangshen Hirasaka. This is the ultimate space ninjutsu, and when his Rinnegan turns red, it will speed up Wangshen Hirasaka's casting speed. So the moment Namikaze Kirito appeared beside him, he hid. Just as Namikaze Kirito was looking around, looking for traces of the other party, a dark scene slowly appeared in the space behind him, and he took a fishing rod in one hand and took the back of his head. Clang. The attacking fishing rod was blocked by the black arm. Bo looked back. Daijin Mokpashiki was looking at him in surprise. It seemed that he was very puzzled that he could react so quickly. How could Daijin Mokura know that Namikaze Kirito owns observation haki, although it is not sure where Haki Koizumi Hirasaka appears, but as soon as he shows up and sees Shiro Nanchi, he will be found immediately. Today's proficiency is still not enough. When observation haki is stronger, it will be able to predict the future. At that time, all space ninjutsu will be free. A sneak attack on Namikaze Kirito would be the most impossible thing possible. Dark water. Namikaze Kirito held out his hand, and a black vortex appeared in his palm. Daijin Mokpashi suddenly felt that he could not control his body, then he rose up and flew directly to Namikaze Kirito's right hand. Boom. With a muffled sound, Namikaze Kirito's right hand grabbed Daijin Mokpa's arm. Caught you. What? Daijin Mokpashi originally wanted to use the 1,000 paper cranes to disappear instantly, but he suddenly found a sense of obscurity in his body, as if he was blocked. Can't use it at all. Namikaze Minato didn't give him a chance to continue to be shocked, and hit the opponent's face with one punch. Boom! This punch hit him firmly in the face, and the force of the shock even caused all the surrounding flowers, plants and trees to be blown away. Damn it! You! An ant? Daijin's Mappa-like face was bleeding. More than that, the hard kakuzu on his head was directly smashed, exposing his forehead. Advertisement. This made him intolerable. Just as the sense of disobedience in his body disappeared, he directly turned into countless paper cranes and disappeared in place. Asking for flowers. Looking at his hand, Namikaze last person fell into memory. Just now, dark fruit did seal the opponent's chakra and abilities in an instant, but the seal was only for a short moment. Even in a duel between experts, a short moment is enough to determine the winner. But the Daijin clan, which has the vitality of Xiaoqiang, can't be solved in an instant. If you want to get the other party's Rinnegan and other abilities, it is estimated that he must completely lose the ability to resist, and the capture of dark fruit will be successful. Is this unique to the Six Paths class? Namikaze Minato whispered softly. Once reaching the Six Paths level, the body has evolved to a higher level of dimension. In this case, dark fruit will no longer be as invincible as before. Unless he has the strength to crush the Six Paths level, then dark fruit can display a stronger ability. Not to mention Namikaze Minato's contemplation, Daijin Mappa-style distanced himself and looked at Namikaze Minato warily. He finally figured out what happened to the obscurity in his body just now. It was similar to the ability to seal and absorb. These abilities should all belong to Rinnegan, so how could they appear on a mortal? This puzzled him greatly. I can't let him get close anymore if I get a few more punches. Seeing the tragic state of the forest, Daijin Mokpashi felt a chill in his heart. If he really endured those fists full of shocking power a few more times, even his body would not be able to bear it. Uzumaki Boruto, who was on the side, saw that his uncle had clearly gained the advantage, and jumped up and down happily, as if he had defeated the enemy himself. Young Sasuke was also full of respect. He didn't know what would happen in the future, so that such a strong leader disappeared with a group of relatives, but he believed that no matter what kind of difficulties, he would definitely not be able to stop his leader. This is also the belief that everyone in Gensokyo firmly believes in. Daijin Mokpashi thought of this, reached out and threw out a black box. Leader, be careful. The youth Sasuke saw Daijin's Mappa-like movements, and immediately sounded a reminder. The difference from the original book is that he has also been to the moon, and he and Sharon can be regarded as companions, and the powerful Sharon was sealed by the other party in this way. It's too late again.